Okay, right, we should be live. Hello to everyone currently joining us. Apparently, my internet is attempting to cope with this. I joke, it's not my internet, it's probably Twitch dropping me off. There we go. Okay, we seem to be stable now. Hello if you're watching on the stream replay or anywhere else. Hello to you as well. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday so far, because we were actually here live on Monday for Mario Kart Mondays for the first time in, well, the entire thing starting 3 weeks. At long last, nothing came up, I didn't feel too unwell, and I'm actually here to do the thing on the real day, so I'm looking forward to it. The game suddenly got a little aggressive the second I went back to the main menu, so I'm just going to keep massaging the audio as we go on throughout the day, so let me know how it is for anyone who's here, and I'll adjust accordingly. Anyways, I had to frantically scramble last minute to sort the setup for this, because apparently I didn't have a DS layout on my laptop, and apparently I didn't have half the DS assets on my laptop either, so it was a bit of a scramble to get this sorted, but just about finished it in time. Did I? Yes, I did, okay. There was one thing I was double checking. You should be able to see the chat. I don't know why I've never bothered to set up DS stuff on here. I think I did for the charity versions of the layouts, but never for the real deal, so yeah. Anyways, as you can see here, this is Mario Kart DS, as promised. I did say I was going to come to DS in particular, and, well, DS is a weird one, because I'd love to play some online at some point if anyone's willing and able, but the online is a little difficult to get set up, in that you need an unprotected or a very old Wi-Fi encryption. So you've either got to be willing to have anyone join your internet, or you've got to have a really old router, which, you know, kind of the same applies, but it's not too bad once you know how to set it up, and then it's really easy to get online. But most people don't have it, so therefore it's a bit difficult to put together lobbies of this game sometimes. So I was like, what could I do that's offline but still shows off DS, because I love DS. Also, welcome Larry, hope you're having a good one. And CTGP Nitro comes to mind, as you can see here. It's a lovely title screen. There's a lot of cool custom tracks in this. There's just over 32, so it might be a bit of a short one tonight, admittedly, but nonetheless, we're going to go through them all, and we're going to enjoy some. Me and my homies playing Mario Kart DS on unprotected sex. Don't you need to log in to unprotected sex from memory? Anything with a login page is a no-go for the DS, unsurprisingly, but I can dream, okay? Yeah, so I'm going to go into the main menu here. This isn't as, this isn't as expansive as other Mario Kart mods like the ones we played in the last few weeks, but there's some really nice little tracks in here for the most part. There is some custom code stuff here and there. In particular, it's got its own online mode that's separate from, you know, you don't have to do friend rooms or whatever to play the custom tracks. It does actually have its own, not server, but like region, so that you don't clash with other players and things. You know, all that sort of stuff. So there is like a lot of custom cool features here, but it's not like something like CTGP 7 where you've got you know, loads of new modes and quality of life things. It's very much Mario Kart DS, just with a couple extra things to support the new content. You'll see what I mean there in a second. But you'd think I want to go to Grand Prix, but because the game's future-proof, basically, it's got more track slots than it does tracks. So therefore, a lot of stuff in Grand Prix mode I might have to skip over. So instead, it makes way more sense to do Versus mode. As you can see here, we got everyone unlocked, because that's a nice feature of the game by default. Yeah, Mario Kart DS but more. This is exactly it. It's very vanilla DS. I know the next version has been being worked on for a while, for like the last year or so. There was a video like a couple weeks back now that was basically, oh hey, look, we got tricks working, which is really cool. But that version's not out yet, and I'm sure that'll have a load more tracks as well, so I can't speak too much to that one. I can speak to this one though, and what exists of it. So I'm actually, hopefully now that I'm all good, I'm going to full screen my stream, because I'm doing the same as usual. I am going to play off the capture feed where possible. So yeah, we got loads of characters here. I will take character requests tonight, but don't waste your channel points, because of the versus thing. I'm going to do versus and races of 4, or batches of 4. Therefore, I'm actually going to play a bunch of different characters. So no spamming, but as long as you, you know, as long as you get it in ahead of time, we'll pick some characters. I am, however, gonna pick the first one just to go on, for the first GP, and then everything else onwards, I'll I'll take requests. Shy Guy standard cart. If I remember, I will absolutely do that. And as you can see here, loads of custom characters as well to choose from. If you want me to pick any of those as well. I know for a fact Wario will be a favourite at some point to come with us. As will Shy Guy. Shy Guy is here. And there's actually a cheat code to use him in this. So Shy Guy will also be a fan favourite for reasons you'll find out at some point. It is Red Shy Guy, weirdly. It's not Green Shy Guy, which is a little sad. I love Green Shy Guy. But however, I'm going to start off with Rob, because Rob is my favourite character in DS. I desperately wish they'll bring him back in anything, but they won't. He was this game's weird, quirky pick, like Funky was, but Funky fits better in Mario Kart, so it makes sense that he came back and Rob didn't, but I love Rob. Sadly, this mod forces the Japanese colours, which are cool, but I tend to prefer the Western colours for Rob, but whatever. I will mostly just limit it to cars, by the way. I will take some every now and then, but this is Mario Kart DS, so I want to pick some of the good cars for the most part, even if I'm playing as whatever character. So, like I said, my pick first of all. So, Egg 1 is the best car in the game, but I'm actually going to be avoiding it. I'm just not... Well, it's not technically the best, it's just the most well-rounded. I'm not very good at it though, so... What I will go for, however, because it is very beginner-friendly, the Dry Bomber. Woohoo! Right, 150cc. I don't massively want to deal with the CPU, but I'll leave it on normal, I guess. Courses, choose, rules. What is this again? Oh, right. Oh, yeah, no, I'll turn on 4 race GPs. Team off. Yep, of course. So you got all your your normal tracks here, but if you press L and R, just like the character select screen, here you go. Here's all your customs. And they are actually sorted mostly into Nitro and Retro, which is really cool. So... for the most part, you shouldn't have any overlap in the Nitros with returning tracks or whatever have you. That's exclusively for the Retros. Now, here's where your problem comes in. Like I said, this is future-proofed. Originally, it didn't even cover 2 pages. So at some point, whenever the last update happened, I think that was like this time last year, they did add a 3rd page worth of cups. But as you can see, not fully finished yet. Now, very funny to do so. Of all the tracks, it's the last one. I'm guessing that's why. It's just the last ID. That's probably why it's there. But yes, I'm not doing this. But at some point these will be filled out. Maybe we'll come back when that does happen. But for now, we've got, what, 60 and 32. Oh goodness, this is actually more than I thought it was. 16, 32 plus 32, 64, 68. Oh my goodness, okay, I actually thought this wasn't going to take that long because I completely miscounted. What was that, 68? 72, right? Yeah, 72 tracks total. Okay, we might be here a while longer than I had initially anticipated, but point stands. We're going to start off pretty much right now then, because I've not got much time to spare, and let's start with... We'll go Nitros, then Retros, I think. Should I do it that way? Yeah, like Nitro here, Retro, then Nitros, then Retro, basically. I think it would be a good place to start. So, Monochrome Raceway coming up first of all. I really like this one, personally. It's very simple, as will be the case with quite a few of these tracks, because it is DS, you know, nothing fancy. But there are a bunch that probably will, like, blow people's minds, I imagine. They certainly did me. So, Monochrome Raceway. Actually... Can you set in order in this game? I don't think you can. Oh, that's a Mario Kart Wii thing. Oh, I know. NMCT. In order. There we go. Cool. Since it seems like there's no Yoshi circuits in random ones anymore. That used to be the case. There used to be, like... Oh, there was only 3 in this cup, so there's a Yoshi circuit. But if that's not the case, they actually fixed that, and I just forgot about it, then... I can set this and have way less menuing to do. So, Life Cup. Let's go. So yeah, how's everyone doing? Hope you're having a good Monday so far. It is just very warm here. I'm sure it's the case for a lot of people. Oh yeah, custom music as well. I forgot that. So let's enjoy that for the most part anyway. I'm going to have to get used to DS again. Been good, got out for my walk. I went out today to go and get shopping and it was just... Oh, it was nuts. It's still been pretty bad once I got back. Like, not felt too hot, but... as in, you know, good, not warm. I've definitely felt warm, but kind of cooled off a little bit now that the sun's gone in. It's going to take me a while to get back to DS controls again. It's been like a couple months since I played DS. So, we'll give it time. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. Sonic Frontiers Island music pairs great with the British countryside. Oh, I can imagine. Any sort of like nice, tranquil, peaceful music works perfectly on walks with nature and stuff like that, so I can absolutely see it. Super Mario Land 2 The Go, I knew you'd be an appreciator. It's not Mario Land 1 music, but Mario Land 2 music is very good. Meanwhile, the game's just like a million miles better, isn't it? So, am I ready for my thumb to fall off, as a million people will ask me? Well, I'm trying not to go too ham on the D-pad, because I think I said last week, that is the key. You actually don't want to go too ham on the D-pad. It is very much timing as opposed to how quickly you can slide your thumb back and forth for the most part. It's just getting a feel for rhythms more than anything. I've also got the C-pad if my hand gets really that worn out. First race down. Oh yeah, custom lap counts as well, as you can see in both these races. The problem is I've not played half of these Nitros, I don't think. So I'm going to be getting used to these as I go. This one's certainly new to me, but this is very cool. I like this a lot. Oh. Man, I'm not getting some of these turns very well today. Like I said, it's going to take a couple races of warm-up to get there. Come back here, Yoshi. Yeah, I'm far from the greatest at this game, but I'm going to try and get a blue shell dodge here and there. It didn't work that time. I can hope though, can't I? Yeah, a little bit of the old snaking, it's in the name after all. I also can drive straight into walls apparently, while trying to counter steer, that's fine. Yeah, definitely over the last year or two been playing a lot more Mario Kart DS. Not ideal on a 3DS at all. It's not the most comfortable of things to play this game on. Definitely, as everyone in the mother says, DS fat. The OG, better D-pad for this sort of thing. Much more to grip onto, and therefore a bit less like cut into the corners of your hands and stuff. But I can make this work. The D-pad placement is a thing. Oh, it absolutely is. Yeah, I am attempting to stick with D-pad. I don't mind using the circle pad as much as most people for Mario Kart DS, but it's definitely, like, I don't know, I'm not as good on it. I much prefer a D-pad for this game. Great. As by like a pixel. But yeah, also I can't turn I can't turn items off, so you're gonna have to prepare for some item spam. This game is really heavy on it. Luckily, like I alluded to, I can get away with dodging some blue shells, so you might see that here and there, but definitely nothing to deal with red shells. Even, what's the word? I can't think of what it's called. Even bananas and green shells and things, you can't just hold out like you can from Wii onwards. Because in that game you effectively, Wii and everything else, you effectively get an invisible force field, so for the most part, the shell can't hit you from the side or whatever. This game does not have that. This was the last one to be old school style. You've got to take out your shell or banana or whatever at the very last second to have a chance of actually dodging it, so you might see me getting hammered by red shells left and right, even though I have a banana or something. This game is a little bit... There's ways to deal with certain things that aren't in other Mario Karts and vice versa. I can deal with digital input on analog sticks for 3D movement. Yeah, it's not too bad for the most part. I kind of don't mind using the circle pad for certain things here and there. Wait, I had a mushroom? I wasn't even paying attention to that. I mean, the nice thing as well with this being versus, it does not matter if we win or lose, so I'll take every little blessing I can get. Oh, here we go. I'm not going to charge that in time. I love how fans keep each Mario Kart alive. It's great, isn't it? Like, I'm not as big into, you know, like the first 3 Mario Karts as most people are. Like, even those have great scenes, like both keeping the official and unofficially alive as well. It's awesome. You know, like, by that I mean like the original version, but as well like custom tracks, quality of life features, etc. Like every single Mario Kart has something like it, even 8 Deluxe. Just, you know, most people don't have. Well, the Switch is necessary to play 8 Deluxe in that form, but That'll at some point be on here. Super Mario Kart Horizons and 64 ramped up to name 2. 64 ramped up is really great from what I know. I like 64 more than I like Super Circuit or... what's the other one called? Super Mario Kart, there you go. I definitely like 64 quite a bit. I'm just not very good at it, which kind of puts me off playing 64 a lot of the time. Like, you know, I'm quite happy to stream it or something like that at some point. Maybe I stream amped up. Maybe that's how I get around it. But, yeah. I'm not the greatest at it, so like anything that's like, oh, let's just beat the game normally or whatever, I'm like, safe days. Oh, well, you can have that one, Yoshi. Oh, still got here anyway. Okay. I have the... Wait, is that another one? Oh my god! Yeah, I didn't have enough speed there. So the trick is fully charge a boost, then double hop. And that's normally how you get around it, but you also need enough speed carried into the double hop, which is kind of often where I get I come unstuck. I can't believe I did that. I didn't realise that was a water texture, it just looked kind of clear from it. Look, getting DS'd is something that will happen a lot today. I'm prepared for it, but 20 seconds or whatever that was, like, it really wasn't that long, right? Yeah, goodbye, Red. I would like to catch up, however. It would be really nice. I was hoping for just a second that would work, but it's fine. This is a long enough track. I can get away with it. Yeah, she's luckily right there. Oh my god! What? What is this race? Oh my god, there's a fifth. There's a fifth blue shell. What on earth is going on? What I like about Lake Mario Kart is I can tell the difference between green and blue shells. Very true. This pit here is a little bit of a pig by the water, but you know, get good is mainly my own reaction to that, I guess. Like I feel like with any form of just knowing the track, I could deal with that a bit better. Okay, that was actually a pretty nice track. I liked that. It's a very long one as well. I'm kind of surprised. There we go. First Grand Prix done. I never noticed that Rob is still his international colours here. That's interesting. Colour blindness is what hurts me off OG hardware and screens. Oh, I can get that. Like, as I always say, I'm playing off the capture feed, and I often just cannot see what's in front of me compared to the actual system. Yeah, Shy Guy, indeed. I forget actually what button combo Shy Guy is. Is it? There we go. Okay, so... Shy Guy standard cart, isn't it? Any preference on the standard cart? Because, bearing in mind, I can pick any character's standard cart. I'm guessing color match would work the best, but, you know, I'll leave it up to you. I know... Oh, wait, standard Shy Guy. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, 38. We'll go with Shy Guy standard, why not? 100, normal, in order. Oh, whoops, wrong one. 14. Download play gang. Like I said, it's not green Shy Guy though, as he was in download play. They did actually change his color here, which I'm a little sad about. But green Shy Guy gang basically is all I'm trying to say. I know the best standard cart is. Most people agree it's generally Dry Bones, except there's like some scenarios where other standard carts are slightly better. But I mean, I don't play standard cart, so I'm not too versed. Oh, this is the Shroom cart. Okay. I mean, it was obvious once I saw the sign. Oh, color blindness. Yes, it is specifically the green Shy Guy. Yeah, they presumably applied a texture mod to this one or something to make him into normal Shy Guy. Boo! Green gang, green gang. Hi, Mary. Right, don't take the Shroom cut. Dear God, don't take the Shroom cut. Now that I know where I'm going a bit better, it's nice, but I didn't feel like I could see beyond the horizon that clearly the first time round. Maybe red with player 3 or something? Possible. I don't remember if there was a difference in colour distribution. Maybe there was, because I only ever played 2-player, so I have no idea. I don't think. See, the thing is, as I said, Mario Kart DS was never mine, so that's probably why I don't remember anything beyond 2-player. Because I definitely knew loads of people with it. But, I don't know, I would have played directly to one person, I guess, clearly, because I have no memories of anything else. I will get my blue dodge. It will happen. Oh, Toy Time Galaxy, here we go. I have played this one. I mean, I love Toy Time Galaxy in its original game. It's really great when you get some custom songs, but I think the Nitros are a bit lacking in that regard for the most part. Oh. I think it's mostly the retros that tend to get like custom DX remixes way more, so we'll just enjoy the base game music for now. Nothing wrong with a bit TikTok block. Oops. Okay, very short race. Well, this will be done very quickly then. Gotta remember, neutral before hopping. That's how you snake. I'm not paying much attention to it. There we go. Why do I keep messing up so many of these corner mini turbos and things? Because I'm already turning halfway into them. This is gonna be a bit of I don't have enough speed for this. Yep. Because I held that for way longer than I thought, because you can hear it so close by. Or, so you can hear it so far away, rather, because it's that small of a track. Okay. Is this the battle map song? Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, this track's already very weird. Oh wait, no it's not. It's Moonview Highway, isn't it? I think Moonview Highway is actually in here. So that's probably just where they yoinked it from. I think Highway's the time. Now I'm not remembering it at all. Maybe I just played it. Oops. Great. I even had the banana for that one. Could have absolutely done something about it. Oh. I can already feel the corner of the 3DS digging into my right hand. This is gonna be a it's gonna be an experience. Oh wow, I'm surprised those two didn't collide with each other. Oh, speaking of which, collide with me instead. Wow, not placing too hot on this one. So, now's my time. Okay, that makes sense. They don't follow through that cannon. Did I just hear a blue? I thought I did, but I'm now second guessing myself because I feel like it would have shown up by now. It's way better than that to overtake Mario. Come on. Commit. Commit, Shogo. Okay, cool. A clutch one, but we made it nonetheless. Ooh, I do know this one as well. This one's from Wii originally, I believe. As you can tell actually from the trick ramps. I can't believe I said that. It's okay, I couldn't see them at the time though. Yes, I forgot. Red shells will go in front of you if they can't hit behind you. That is the thing. Thanks, Mary. Turns out there are multiple Shy Guy colours in DS. Really? Is it just the green's default one? Because that's the one I definitely remember. Well, what order's what in? Also, a bit rude, but it's fine. Yeah, there's just way too many trick points in this stage for a game that doesn't have tricks. But hey, next update. I think it's optional from what I remember, like you can turn it back off again. Oh! Ah, I'm guessing I'm not meant to be able to fall below that. That breaks the illusion just a tiny bit. Oops. Yeah, this is not going to be a first place placement from me, but oh well. The rest of it will carry me. Once again, I don't need to win everything, but on the off chance I did, I've got that to back me up. Oh, there we go. There's a chance. We're back. We're so back. One of the least deserved wins of my life in that Grand Prix, but we made it. Okay, I am going to stick with the Shy Guy theme now. As I held... I think it was start. Nope, it was select. Ah, it wasn't... You press select instead of A. Okay, so you got white, blue, green, light blue, dark blue, red, yellow, and pink chosen at random. Oh, okay. Alright, I did say, I believe, the dry bone... Wait, no, is it the dry bone standard or Rob standard? What on earth is WL? Oh, Waluigi, right, yes. Forgot he was after Dry Bones and the character of it. No, it is definitely Dry Bones as standard DB. Okay. Oh, whoops, I realised I did it wrong. Much better, there you go. Fuck it, let's colour match it. Order. This one. So yeah, the custom characters are a little memey for my liking, but they exist. They're kind of fun. I wish there was a bit more of a selection of them as well, because I'm pretty sure there were different ones in the last update that got swapped for all these ones. So surely, if that were the case, could you not just make custom multiple custom slots? I'm already not massively sold on this track. It's a little confusing. I think the CPUs are somewhat in agreement with me as well. I mean, I get the concept. I like the concept, but it's not inherently obvious what to do on the first go around. Oh, you can take that, Mary. Go on, bestie. Like, definitely could use like a signpost or two or something, you know. And goodbye. Oh, good. Yes. Mogus is doing bits so far. Let's keep it that way. There we go. Getting a bit better at the straights after like 20 minutes. Is that another one? I always get really confused with the drifting sound. Sometimes I mistake it. Right, here we go. It's going to find a way around me, surely. No, because I did whatever on earth that was by just doing a simple jump input. Okay. Now that is, however, and I can't do anything about it. Oops. That's not how you drift. That's how you drift. There we go. Beat Mario Kart, fair and square. Alright, what on earth is this all about? Oh, it's the galaxy from 2. I'm guessing from the 4 pixels I can see there. I think that's the guys. Yeah, they're there. The slide music, nice. Isn't item luck a stat in DS? I want to say it relates to what you get, not what everyone else gets. I think. I can't actually remember how item luck works in this one, but I believe you're right, yeah. Earth is DK holding it. I never actually looked at that in the in the menu. Oh, you can eat that one. Oh, I thought I'd missed that. The 4 pixels striking again. That is, however, another one. Good lord. Bomb backwards. I think they all fell off, didn't they? So I didn't need to worry about that. I'm gonna put money that I'm actually gonna have to worry about another shell though, seeing how this game has panned out so far, but now we're fine. Mo guy's done it again. That was early, right? No, okay. I really thought I fudged the timing there. I recognise the track, but I can't remember why. Oh, it's Diddy Kong Racing, isn't it? That's why. Wow, this does not sound compressed for DS at all. Like, this sounds identical to at least the 64 version. I say that now. I think that melody's different. Maybe they just nicked it from Diddy Kong Racing, although sound driver would be different, right? Either way, like, this sounds really good. You all avoided that. That's very impressive. I've kind of got to respect it, honestly. Oops. Oops again. Can I hit that snipe with like 4 pixels on screen? I cannot. But it was an effort. I just think I could cut that grass way closer than I can, but no. Like, quite often with grass textures in this game and other Mario Kart games, it's like, oh, unless it's like full-on grass. Like, if there's some gaps between it or whatever, like, no, this is just the second you're touching a green pixel, you're on the grass. Barely see. Okay. Custom track moment. I'm just gonna chalk that up too. I can't win this one, unfortunately, but it was an attempt. All the same. Wait, is that a unique second place jingle, or do I just hear second place that little that I don't recognise it? Okay, no idea what this one is off the top of my head again, but we'll give it a go. But it's got the Luigi Circuit blimp, so I'm always on board with that. Love me a bit of Luigi Circuit, as I pointed out last week. I can hit that from the side and it gives me the speed boost, sure thing. I gotta respect it a little, honestly. I do enjoy the voice clips are entirely repurposed. I guess that's why certain things are on certain slots, just to make it work. But that Robo Mario there, like, I guess Rob Noises works for him. He is a robot, so I got it somewhat right. Yes, a little too twisty and turny. Let's have a look at the mini-map. See that? You can have it. Mods. my screen's a little full, unfortunately. See, the one person I expect to be here for Mario Kart Monday weirdly isn't today. I have no idea where he is. Thought I'd missed that, but still didn't manage. Thank you very much. Yeah, I can't really do it myself much tonight. Once again, playing off the screen, the screen capture, so I'm gonna have to be very reliant on other people. Hopefully, it doesn't happen though. But we will find a time where I can do that. So Robo Mario, of course, ready on the overtake. Notification still getting past his ping. See, we joke about this, but I think for like the last 2 years he's had better internet than the rest of us, so the joke only sticks around for legacy's sake, because actually we are the ping havers now. I mean, my internet's not too bad where I am right now. It just seems to mistake download for upload, so whenever I'm uploading anything, all download just ceases. I thought I could hit him with that, be a bit cheeky about it. Yeah, whenever I'm uploading a YouTube video, my download just dies, which is, you know, like twice a week at the moment because of VODs and stuff, because the quality is slightly better if you local record it and then upload it, even if it's the same quality as the stream. Twitch just, when exporting the video, inherently loses some quality when you use its built-in feature, which is really cool. Shout outs to Twitch for that amazing feature, as per usual. Can I stay ahead for like... I nearly fell off because I just cannot see where I'm going, but... There we go. A Mo guy. Oh, his icon's a little broken. Don't know what that's all about, but... Anyway. Right, any suggestions for characters? Otherwise I'll pick one of my own again. Oh, interestingly, if I hit R right now, it doesn't do anything, so maybe that means there's intentions for a third page? If I hit L, it also gets stuck, obviously, but yeah, only the L button goes back to the last page. It doesn't cycle back round or anything, so I wonder if that means they are considering in future more pages. Also, oh, he's holding a barrel, yeah, that makes sense. I never realised Luma was also Wario-faced. See, I want to do this one. I guess there's nothing wrong with repeating them, but I know for a fact it will get picked if more people show up at a later point. Do I want to just go with Mario? Oh, I kind of do want to go with Minecraft Mario right now. Alright, let's get the first egg one of the day. There we go, last Nitro of the page. Speaking of Marcus, I saw a thumbnail of all the Banana Rumble crossover characters the other day, and with Miku, it looked like a mod pack trailer. The top two first things modded into any game are Mogus and Miku, at least, you know, in current years. A couple years back it would have been when I can't think of anything like TF2 characters or something. Oh, I recognise the music, but I can't think from where. So this is a very Sherbet Land, but I like Sherbet Land, so I'm not going to complain too much. Oops. I can't tell if that put me forwards or backwards. I think it did put me a little forwards. Oh, there it is. Can I do it? You could see I barely nearly escaped it, but need a tiny bit more speed. But I think, I mean, I said I think, I was gonna say I think I said it the other day, but actually it's not come out yet. I believe it's coming out sometime this week, but I really like, I really like Banana Rumble's crossover characters. Like, they were wacky in Banana Mania, and then they delisted them. I was like, oh, I kind of hoped they were gonna do some more. And this one just feels like the realization of it, like, yeah, just stick Godzilla in, like, whatever. Like, it's funny. I liked Shuezo last time and Hello Kitty, they were just weird picks. Like, I don't care about, oh, but they've not got in, like, I don't know. Yoshi Jockey, please laugh. True! I don't know, I really liked Banana Rumble's DLC. Kind of hope we got some more cool stuff coming over the next few months or whatever. Still haven't played it. I'd recommend it at some point if you can get your hands on it. It's definitely the best Monkey Ball for however long at this point. I see the physicals seem to be going really cheap, so you know, maybe worth an investigation at some point, considering, you know, we've not had the conversation yet. We've not had the Switch 2 conversation yet today, so... Oh, you have it? Okay. Well, all the more reason to play it, I guess. Oh, this is the beta version. Weird. Whoa. Guessing the files were just still in the game, so we'll use it. No, you can have that later. No! Oh, that's me. Oh, no, it's not. Hey, well, Luigi. I thought it was a really decent game. I've still never gone back and done the very hard stuff that they patched in, but I did the base game and hard stages. Watch as Banana Rumble gets a separate Switch 2 version, they fumble the opportunity to revive multiplayer. See, I'm really curious to check out the multiplayer on Switch 1, oh, sorry, Switch 2, because I know for a fact that it will just, the frame rate will just stabilize with the port. Like, you know, obviously it will be capped to like 30 or something weird, I'm guessing, but at least it will be stable, which, anytime I've played it with anyone, I'm like, I can't notice. I'm like, even non-frame rate people should be able to notice this. It's really bad. Weirdly enough, the Switch can't really handle 16 players on screen. I was a little stunned when they announced that, but hey, once again, probably originally a PC title based on what we know of, you know, multiple platforms, but probably took some bribe money. Switch 2 patch, maybe. I mean, it would make sense, but then again, nothing about Sega's Switch 2. Whatever you'd even call it has made sense so far. Absolutely none of it. Oh, Sky Garden. I'll take it. Saw the join in the track for a second and that was really weird. Was that? Did I? No, I think it was just a normal shell. I thought I saw a shell over wings and I nearly lost it. How this early in the race? I think there's a 30-second cooldown, and I think this is where 30-second cooldowns on shells started. I think. Yeah, I have played this track before. It's okay. It's not great, but it's fine. It's like functional. Oops. Didn't see that too well. Oops, again. I can't believe that's the finish line. Like, there's just not really any indication. The texture's just a tiny bit different. That's it. That is your indication. Good. What on earth was that? Is it by any chance the 4 letters, the famous ones, the second and fourth of which are repeating, and the other 2 are F and M? See, it's tough to say, because as I say with everything, like, once again, we've not had the price discussion yet, so this is where it begins. We've had it every stream for like the last month. That's no slight to anyone, it's just really funny whenever I'm playing Fist of the North Star and it somehow comes up. Yeah, oh, Sky Garden again. Should not complain. It's weird because we've already seen like random price drops. Like Argos is just taking like 15 quid off a bunch of games with discount codes, and I mean I think it was last stream where we had the whole Bravely Default is £20, so we ordered it on stream thing. Like there'll definitely always be ways around it, especially like the second-hand market for the most part, unless it's like first party will, you know, find ways around it or whatever. Like it really is a little difficult. Like everyone's a market analyst all of a sudden, but like even most of the market analysts were like completely wrong about the console price and game prices and things like that, even like a week before the direct and everything. It's like, it's a little difficult to tell how things will go, obviously. It's just definitely going to be like a wait and see. You know, if you're not completely sold, obviously don't do anything irrational or anything, but, you know. I got back into Mario Kart, so I kind of want to play World now. See, this is the issue. World is just too tempting of an offer for many of us, but yeah, I mean, as I say, there is probably a little bit of FOMO in there, which is exactly what they want, of course. But I don't know. Probably always sensible to like wait it out a tiny bit and see how the state of affairs are looking. Christmas, yeah, I know a lot of people holding off till later in the year for that exact kind of reason too. See if there's any decent bundles or discount, or there won't be a discount, but maybe there'll be like good bundles or whatever that are a bit more interesting, or you know, there's like a load of things that might be worth waiting it out if you're not 100% or whatever. Like no point being irrational about it, but also no point like going, oh, I'm never gonna get this, because you know, there's always the chance that something comes along or whatever, like for some people. I can't quite put it into words right now. Words aren't quite working quite well, but look, that's proven by that sentence, but oh boy. Trying to do it. No, not if that happens. So what was that delayed response to that blue shell? Goodness me. I mean, as long as like people like maintain active Mario Kart 8 lobbies or whatever, like yeah, it's still gonna be the feeling of like people getting left out, but you know, certainly might help to ease the blow a little bit. Like I said, I definitely want to do a Mario Kart Mondays a couple weeks in on Deluxe and everything, and I know, even, you know, I'd probably leave it installed on Switch 2 and play it every now and then or whatever, so yeah, same as I'm going back to all of these in anticipation of Mario Kart World. I'm sure once I've played World, I'll be like, okay, I've got the itch for Deluxe 8 again or whatever, you know. Launch is going to be rough with few games, scalpers, upgrades, and storage. I wouldn't say few games, but certainly to most people, few games of interest. Like, I'm surprised how comparatively much new stuff there is for me. Like, there's a lot of old stuff as well, because I'm just like that. But more new stuff for me than there was with PS5 or Xbox, for example. Definitely more than there was with Switch 1. So yeah, upgrades will be bad though, I do agree. Scalps might seem pretty bad in America. I feel like most people got them way easier in Europe, the actual consoles themselves. Storage, see, I'm someone who just likes having all my games installed. I've accepted that's not happening on this console, at least for like a couple of years. My plan is to get a 256 card at some point, and then it's just 512 total, and then just what's the word, archive and cycle between. I think most people will probably like stick with a low amount of storage to begin with. We're ignoring the fact that Yakuza's 50 gig or whatever here, but it's, you know, launch game, but an old game as well. It'd be nice to have the option to get some games on a light/smaller console than the deck. Yeah, that's very true. I love my Steam Deck, but it is a bulky beast. To the point where that's one of my like big justifications for Switch 2 as well. I think I've said before is I love my Steam Deck. I play a lot of cool stuff on my Steam Deck every now and then, but if I'm grabbing something in a rush to go out the house with, it's always Switch. It's never Steam Deck or anything like that personally. I love using my Steam Deck, but it's never like the one I go to. I think I will go with Yoshi. I will stick with my guns. Right, we've got to do this every single time. If you can archive to a standard card or play Switch 1 games of a standard card, I don't see the issue. I get why they forced the SD card stuff, but I wish there was an option, like you say, like you could just put in I don't think this is an option from what I know, but it'd be nice if you could just put in a standard SD card and it could only handle Switch 1 stuff. Like you can with a PS5, like you can just attach a USB drive or whatever and that will exclusively hold PS4 games. Like, I get there's a difference in like fan bases and probably explanations and things like that, and SD cards is probably likely to get way more confusing. And yeah, they do let you do that as well, that's a big thing, but I don't know, just Nintendo. You chalk a lot of things up to that. Anyway, back to retros. See, I'm getting lost in talking, but I can also just talk and play the game, believe it or not, in this revolutionary world. Anyway, we should have some more remixes to go now, so looking forward to that. Also, retros mean... Yeah, Nintendo like to keep things simple, but the thing is, for keeping things... Sometimes in keeping things simple for some consumers, you're keeping things way harder for us. Like, I would absolutely just use the 256 that's on board and archive for, like, a way bigger standard SD if that were an option. Like, that's probably how I would handle it until the expresses are a bit cheaper. But because of that, I'm just going to go for a 256 at some point whenever I next have the spare funds for it. I need to start working on. I think I'm just about paid for the console. I took some money out today for that exact reason. I think I'm just about paid on the actual console itself, at least getting there. Will be by the beginning of May. I actually did press the L button there, it just didn't come out in time. But yeah, I need to start doing accessories, mainly like the big guys are screen protectors and cases. I did it! Let's go! Beautiful. Yeah, they're like the big two guys. Luckily, screen protector and case combos are like 15 quid on Smith, so that'll be nice and easy at some point. Was that another shell? If I do get a Switch 2, I probably won't bother buying physical games new. See, I was really disappointed with the game card stuff, because I tend to mostly buy digital nowadays on Switch, but certainly when a new console comes out, I like the novelty of buying physical. Like, a friend was, in response to, yeah, that's kind of been my logic to it too, Larry minus like select. If it's a single player game, I'll tend to buy it physical, because I'm not gonna like cry about not having access to your digital benefits that much or whatever, so I'd prefer to have it on the shelf. What was I trying to say? Yeah, no, a friend was buying Yakuza 0 and I brought up the game card stuff and they were like, I'm getting it digital anyway, and that just felt really weird to me, because I'm normally a digital person. I'm like, if I own Yakuza 0 on other consoles, so surely for me getting it on Switch is exclusively a novelty thing, and novelty just strikes way more to me having the cartridge than it does. Oh, you were there, yes you were, I forgot about this. Yeah, like, for me so much of it is novelty of getting it on a new console. Like, if I'm getting it digital, then I already have it digital on Steam, where I'd rather play it. Same with like Shadow Gens or whatever. Like, I'm at least considering Shadow Gens as awful as the whole upgrade path, no digital, no DLC, etc. thing is. I'm still weirdly kind of considering it. I wouldn't even play it for like the first couple weeks. So I'd exclusively look for a deal. See, I'm not as ultra against code in box as most people, because I'm like, oh, it's a free case to swap with a crappy one I get from something else that I care more about, and at the end of the day, half the time I'm not taking the flipping things off the shelf anyway, so at least it sits on a shelf looking pretty, and I get the benefits of digital. Like, it never bugged me as much as it did most people, because I'm not physical equals preservation, like a lot of people are. I'm like, owning my game is owning my game. I will find a way to continue owning my game, whether it's digital or physical. Personally, anyway, but you know, it's not everyone's jam or whatever. Yeah, I did that with like a couple games. I generally, like, if the price was the same, I'd want the card, because it's like, well, paying the same regardless, so I'd rather get more for my money or whatever. But like, there was quite a few times where it was like, oh, the code in box actually went way cheaper. Yeah, 2 for $20 on Ubisoft games, for example, is a thing, isn't it? because like I got my Trials Rising, which I sold not long after physical, and then like only like 6 months later it exclusively went to code in box. And for years it's been code in box only, but there are carts out there. But the code in box was in turn cheaper, so it's like, well, if I ever went back and got it, which I'm not rushing to, I got it on PC. It's like, well, I wouldn't care about code in box as much at that point, but at the same time, if I was paying the same price, then I would cry a little bit about code in box. Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely happening in like every game. That's why they were getting rid of literal codes. Oh, they take up so much hard drive space. I can't think of the I can't think of any way to BS this at this point. I mean, I don't think Game are even taking pre-orders for Switch 2 Larry. I think it is literally going to be on the day. They might get some allocations, and obviously then they'll do certain units will do the games and stuff, but yeah, it's my understanding they absolutely got no no stock for pre-orders, or less so, they probably were given the chance of getting allocation, but everyone went, no, we're not a game store. We're a toy store. They cooked, what, in regards to that track? If so, it's a great little conversion. The retros are definitely the stars here. I appreciate the creativity of the customs or whatever, but I'm guessing the tools are still pretty basic, to where remakes of smaller, you know, more quaint tracks like this and Moo Moo Meadows and stuff. Oh, Game is cooked. So they cooked that track. I'm still going with that. Game is cooked. You know, I definitely think the retro's showing a little bit more in this one. Like, there's some really impressive customs coming out and things like Mario Kart 8, 7, it has CTGP, R, Mario Kart Wii and stuff like that, but I don't know, very primitive tools I'm still going to presume, but there's still very interesting things going on with those tools, but they're way more like proof of concept than other later Mario Kart games are, because they're just so much more mature in that department, whereas I remember when we had 2 in walking distance? Oh, they were the best of times. There used to be 2 in my town, and now there's technically 1. There was 0 until like last year when they randomly opened a new Sports Direct, even though it's already a Sports Direct in the town centre where they could have opened a game. They opened a new Sports Direct and opened the game in there. Briefly 3, there was like a shopping park kind of near me. There used to be 4 or 5, and there is now 1 that's really on the outskirts of it. As in what was Best Buy for like a year. Which was a very weird time to be alive. One was a game station. I don't really remember us ever having game stations, and I've mentioned a million times before, I was too young by the time, like 2006, 7, 8 was when they started mostly phasing out. I had no idea they were around till like 2012, because I never saw one during the period of like 2008 to 2012. I always go to Grand Prix instinctively. I'm gonna do a little Luigian. Where were we? This one. Another great one. Love Wii Mario Circuit. There's no DS Mario Circuit, that's my beloved. As you of all people are well aware. Anyone probably watching this as well, but this track's great. Now they haven't even restocked Mario Kart 8, you know shit is absolutely cooked. When they're not restocking the most popular game on the console by a wide margin. Like, even when Switch 2 comes out, that thing's still going to keep selling just to families who either buy pre-owned Switch 1s for the price, or most realistically, still have it and just never had it for whatever reason. That thing will still continue to sell. Like, Mario Kart Wii, they produced till like 2019 in Nintendo Selects, and apparently, according to statistics, that's still sold pretty well. Like, Switch is an even better selling console. It will continue to do just fine, I imagine, for many years to come. I will be curious to see if they actually just print DLC on Kart once. They're never going to do Nintendo Selects or anything, because we had Nintendo Selects way early into the life of other consoles. They're not doing that, but I do wonder if just to make their lives easier, they will reprint like all the DLC on Kart, because that is the thing in America and Japan. Just Europe never got DLC on Kart. It's just that weird code in box thing that doesn't even come with any version of the game normally. That was a very clean race. Yeah, there's been like no bundle in Europe where you can get Mario Kart and its DLC. Oh look, this track's familiar. Minus like maybe in 1 or 2 Switch bundles. I feel like being playable on 2 will keep active for years still, it's just that huge. Yeah, I imagine 8's player base will do a Wii. It will massively drop off from the casual perspective, but I do think people will stick with it either alongside World, or, you know, will kind of get bored of World and come back to it. You know, very similar mass exodus happened with like very popular games, you know, like Mario Kart Wii, for example. Smash Melee kind of had the same thing. I also can't see World reaching the same heights. I just don't think it's as hyper-focused on, like... 8 Deluxe was very hyper-focused on bringing specific things to the game, whereas I can see World definitely having very good racing, but is it going to spread itself a little too thin in order to, like... You know, I think content as well is going to be a big thing. 8 Deluxe still has, like, so much more content than World is ever going to have on launch. That's probably going to certainly be a big part of it to a lot of people as well, but... Yeah, the question is, of course, like, there's so much different varying content in World. Are they going to spread it too thin in terms of, like, entertainment and, you know, like, different varying playstyles and things like that? Yeah, 8 Deluxe just has so much content and an already established base of, like, gameplay and, like, you know, casual competitive stuff like that. Like, you know, big thing, tournament mode, for example. Have we had any confirmation of tournament mode yet? Like, maybe, and I just didn't see it. I've not been paying the most attention, admittedly, but, like, tournament mode in 7 and 8 was, like, a huge part of my enjoyment for the game. Like, not even as someone who plays the games like that. Like, I loved whenever we would do a charity thing, just, like, setting up an open tournament or whatever. Like, I don't know. You see them all the time, like, Mario Kart 7 versus Mario Kart 8, you pick your team and you just go ham. Like, I loved that. Yeah, I definitely think that's the idea of Larry. It's very... You know, everyone was like, after 8 Deluxe, it's clearly going to be Nintendo Kart. And I think their solution to not being Nintendo Kart was to just... You know, Nintendo Kart would have taken it in a hugely different direction. They were like, we could go that direction, or we could just take Mario Kart in a completely different place. You know, Mario Kart Horizon something. Makes me wonder what they'll pull out their ass for Smash 6. If Kirby Air Riders has proved me anything, it's that they're probably not pulling Smash 6 out of their ass. I'm honestly glad it's Kirby Air Riders over Smash 6. Like, I'd love a new Smash, don't get me wrong, but very difficult to top the current one in, like, most people's eyes. You could argue mechanically, but just are going to alienate the broader player base, definitely, if you did something like that. You can never top it from the character perspective, which is what most casual players care about, is just, like, how many characters are in a fighting game at this point, as proven by, like, Tekken's 7 season passes, or whatever Tekken 7 was. And that was a pretty big amount. You know, like, a lot of things like that are just going to make that really difficult, to the point where, I don't know, maybe they just gave Sakurai some free reign, and, you know, therefore Sora, etc., and just went like, oh, let's just do something completely different, because, you know, definitely did not get to do that in the Switch generation, so I'm honestly kind of glad of that a little bit, because, you know, they're never going to go into, like, the mechanically, you know, they're never going to, like, deepen the mechanics of it or whatever. Like, they already made Ultimate faster and more fluid over Wii U and stuff. So that's never realistically going to happen, because they've probably taken it to the point where they feel comfortable with, like, as an in-between, so it's, you know, you can't change that and radically shift it up, because I just think it'd alienate too many people. You can't realistically get a very similar set of characters, and that's what people look for in a fighting game. Even if it's a platform fighter, someone's going to take offense to calling it a fighting game or something like that. You know, there's, like, a lot of factors to it that probably make that a very difficult question, where, like, even if they've talked about it, it's probably still deep into planning, you know? But, yeah, personally, from my perspective, I just don't realistically see what you can do. Whereas America, I definitely can, because that's the direction they've gone in. But they'd have to go in a completely, like, not just like a 90-degree turn like Mario Kart went, like a 180 for Smash, to be able to kind of, you know, not necessarily even top Ultimate, just attempt to match it. It's just realistically never going to happen again in terms of licensing, so, you know, then you have to go, well, how can we... What else is there that will shake the boat? So, yeah, it's definitely a question. I'd, at this point, just be happy, you know, with... I mean, Ultimate's fine for what it is. Like, I really like Ultimate. It's not my favourite to play, but when I play it, I have a great time. I appreciate the, you know, character variety and things like that, the depth of content there is versus earlier titles, etc. So, I think that's a lot of other people's perspective. You know, you're either happy with where Ultimate left it because you really like Ultimate, or you didn't like Ultimate and you're just playing something else. You know, and therefore whatever direction they take it in, you probably won't care about anyway. So it's like, you know, yeah, definitely like a complicated question for sure. One that Mario Kart would have had to deal with had they not, you know, just gone, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. But once again, respect. You know, Deluxe will forever remain playable on that console, even if it's not going to get a performance patch or anything, which it absolutely does not need. Like, oh, I miss the amount of courses Deluxe has. It's right there. You can play it. No one's taking it away from you. You do you. Yeah, no, it's definitely a weird conversation. Oh, not weird, but you know, really, like, difficult conversations all around, I imagine, with those two games in particular. I think a lot of other franchises won't necessarily have the same questions, but I definitely imagine like some similar ones. Like, okay, this is how we innovated with the Switch 1 release. How are we gonna, you know, do we keep doing the same thing? Like certain franchises, like just do that more, please, but just slightly refine it each time. Like if Pikmin 5 came out that was very similar to 4, like I don't think anyone would complain. But if a Mario Kart came out that was very similar to Deluxe, everyone would complain. You know, so it's like, you know, different strokes for different communities and all that. Eventually the Switch 2 will be up to most Mario Karts. What's it missing? Wii. I was thinking yesterday, realistically you could do DS Virtual Console, because the pointer's always been the biggest argument for why you couldn't do it, and every console comes packed in with 2 mouse pointers, and you've already got the touchscreen. Yeah, Double Dash, not happening. Wii is still realistic. They have whatever progress was made on that Nvidia Shield port that we know existed because we've seen it at trade shows and things. Yeah, Double Dash will happen, 100%. Double Dash doesn't have the same issue. I saw people always lump Double Dash in with like Melee, it won't come. Yes, it will. Double Dash will always come. There's no way that one's not happening. Melee's not happening, but Double Dash will. Like, there's no issue of putting that one on Switch Online. Right, any requests or anything like that before I get into the next cup? Yeah, Double Dash might not happen. Wii, as I've said, realistically very possible. Like, a chunk of the work would have already been done on that with the Switch, or the Wii emulator that we know exists. If not, because Mario Galaxy was a different port to the Chinese Shield one, so that was actually more of a port rather than an emulation, so they could just port Wii outright as well. It is an option. DS would be an option. You know what we want to see? See, I was waiting for King and others who are big Wario fans, but I can do that. The Brute isn't great, so this is exclusively for the fans. What one? The third one, right? Oh, this is the beta one. Luckily, Dokkan Course doesn't crash when you fall off it anymore, so here we go. Yeah, if you use the cheat code to play this in vanilla Mario Kart DS, it crashes. Also, by the way, it means we get to hear the banger. This song's so good. Oh, this thing does not turn very well. Not Wario, the car. Stats are basically identical in DS from what I recall. Only major stat is at higher levels weight stat because of off-road. But if you're not going through the off-road, then it doesn't really matter. That's certainly not something I'm doing. I'm not any good at PRB or anything like that. As I said, that's really the only difference in character stat is weight. I think pretty much everything else is determined by car. So I think this is a car issue rather than a Wario issue. This course is really cool. I get why it didn't come back, because it's definitely very early, but I would have kind of liked to have seen this fleshed out a little bit more. Shells aren't as magnetic as 8, that too. Yeah, I'm definitely oversteering a little bit here, just trying to get some good mini turbos in and all that. Also, yeah, I changed how I'm gripping my 3DS, and my hands are absolutely fine now. It's just where they were cutting into the corner of the DS, but I've simply just clawed it with this hand instead, and it's way better, so note to future self. That's another thing about the DS Fat that's just so good for this game, those are the triggers. Like, it just has, I considered input redirection, doesn't work on DS, unfortunately. I was going to do it on the CTGP 7 stream, but for some reason it just kept crashing Luma, so the entire DS would crash, which is really odd, because I was testing it the hour before and it just kept doing that, and I was like, I'm not just going to have it crash mid-race. Yeah, it doesn't work on DS stuff, sadly, because when it boots into DS mode, it just ignores Luma and everything else, because it relies on the DS BIOS instead of the 3DS BIOS. Right, this track's really dumb. I'm pretty sure I want to go left here. No, you don't want to go left. That's it, I think. There's a way you can go in this track from having played it on Retro Rewind that is like just 45 seconds slower. You can almost tell it's a beta track. Because, you know, there's a... Normally, like in some Mario Kart games, it's like, oh, the shortcut saves like 5 seconds or whatever. When there's a significant difference in which way you go around, it's like, okay, this clearly isn't finished. You can very much tell this is what became Cheap Cheap Beach. Cheap Cheap Beach is thankfully a much better track, but I inherently hate the concept of this one. Just, you know, the whole go left or lose time thing. I think there is a way you can go that is just a dead end as well if you go right. So it's getting fun. Alright, come on. You know, what was I saying? The triggers, if you've not held a DS for ages, the triggers are so much better. They're like ultra springy, huge, like bit depressing compared to like... The 3DS ones are admittedly a little better than later DS's, but like the later DS's are super micro switched and just break really easily and get stuck really easily from experience. I've never had one break on me. Apparently most people have playing this game, but my experience is mostly my DSi XL, just the trigger just constantly gets stuck in. Even before I was playing like Mario Kart DS or anything, it was just awful. It would just, I think I slightly loosened one of the screws on the case because it just made it rub less. It still didn't stop it rubbing, it just rubbed less. You're gonna get hit there, I bet you are. Play on deck a lot these days. See, emulators kind of the way for Mario Kart DS, unless you're like that desperate to play on real hardware, just the control methods are like just so much more robust that you have access to with like wireless controllers nowadays, unless, as I say, you like dig out the DS fat or whatever. But, you know, most D-pads are going to be a bit more tactile and therefore like a bit nicer to slide your thumb across, and you know, definitely the triggers is a big thing. Like just having access to way nicer and more robust shoulder buttons is going to help a lot as well. Whereas I mostly don't play DS on deck. I think DS and 3DS are like the few things I still play on original hardware for the most part. Like every, especially on the DS Edge, where I can set them to the... Oh, that's true actually. That is very true. I think I did that once or twice when my Elite controller wasn't dead. Which, you know, Elite controllers be kind of doing that. Like, they have a big failure rate. But I definitely, I think, did a couple times play Mario Kart DS on it and then just set it to digital triggers basically, and that was very fun. So this track is pretty much entirely finished within DS. Like, there's some things missing. I don't think the chain chomp's there. I think they added that in Nitro, but otherwise it's a pretty feature-complete track. Although maybe the piranha plants at the end are missing as well. I think the logic is presumably they were in development at similar enough times to where I think we just ended up taking this track instead, and I think the replacement from memory is generally agreed to be Baby Park. this was going to be in the slot Baby Park was. So, to most people, that's a loss. To most people who still play Mario Kart DS, that's a loss. But, you know, Baby Park's pretty iconic in its own right. Sometimes I want the quality of life modern screen, sometimes I want the original experience. Every time I do DS emulation, it's just always really funky, which is, you know, why this is on original hardware, for example. You always just have weird experiences with it, especially, you know, stuff like Rush and anything that's dependent on, like, specific aspects of the touchscreen, not just, like, tapping it. It can just be really cumbersome as well. Like, therefore I never really got into it on Steam Deck and stuff, for example. I bought a stylus, that does help. I don't know, like, the form factor of it never massively worked well for me for that sort of thing. Now, what would work very well is putting my Switch in the flip grip. My modded one to the flip grip, there you go, that'd be great. You can see they changed this one massively. I think there's like a couple versions of Waluigi Pinball in the files from what I remember. I think one of them is still like referring to it as like Luigi Pinball before they decided Waluigi was going to be the character. Also, they made this section way bigger. No sound yet either. Yeah, for some reason, I guess just because these tracks are iconic enough in their own right, because it's one of the few Mario Karts where the test tracks are still in there and easily accessible, I guess the decision was just made to make a cut for them. Yeah, this is one of the earlier ones, as you can see by the completely different course design through this bit here. I really kind of like this version, just this little bit here is a bit unnecessary, but the rest of it's cool. Get a turn going in time. And just to rub it in. So what is it, just like one of those standard touchscreen styluses, or does it have some special hardware in it to like accelerate like most touchscreens or a Steam Deck or whatever? So I guess I kind of have thought about stuff like that before, but I don't really tend to play touchscreen stuff on Steam Deck. Let's go. Yeah, I lost one of these. I completely forgot that. Oh, it was Nokonoko course, wasn't it? Beautiful portrait. Okay. I think staying on... Which Waluigi do I want? I think I just want normal Waluigi. Staying on that trail of thought, I guess. What card do I want to use? I don't use the Rob BLS yet. Rob BLS is technically one of the best, just very, very difficult to maintain, like, control and stuff for the most part. The disc style for drawing. Disc style? What, you mean like the one where you, like a dibber, like you press it in and it just goes... Right, this should be a pretty quick set of tracks, we'll see. It's not going to go as long as I thought it would. I thought when I saw 72 tracks, I was like, oh, this will be like 3 hours. Like, nah, not doing too bad for time so far. Clear plastic disc on the end of the knob. I don't quite... I'm not quite familiar with that, I don't think. Oh, that's the booster pad. I thought that was like ink or something. Oop. Some of these corners are a little too sharp for this car. Should have thought it through a little better, but didn't realise I'd be cornering, I say, in the cup with SNES Rainbow Road in it. Shame you can't really make out the emblems on this, because I completely forgot I had custom emblems on this. I was like, maybe like 3 minutes before the stream started, I was like, oh man, it would have been funny if I actually set up custom emblems. Let me just see if what settings set, because I think you can just set it back to default if there's nothing there. And I was like, wait, I do actually have emblems on here. So I'm guessing at some point I put the cheat code in on PC, because there's cheat codes that you can use to just basically auto-enter them for you. Probably did that, then moved the save back to the S and just completely forgot about this. I was like, oh cool, I actually did do this. This is fun. Now this is going to be a little bit of a pig, yeah. Case in point. Point exactly proven. I don't even... I probably played the track, but I'm not too familiar with the layout of that. Nice one, Rob. We all saw that. Great. Boost bumps in this game. Get anyone but Rob, you're getting bumped around like all over the shop if you're running into a CPU. It's great. I think Rob is by far the heaviest, which makes sense. He's like pure metal, but so my crash kick is over. Kart race is my new best friend. Okay, I hear you, but why not combine those two lines? All I'm saying is I'm happy to play Crash Team Racing online. That's a very fun game, and I suck at it compared to most players, so I have an online experience. It is just that, however, an experience. Oh good, blue shell just to rub salt in that wound. On the table. Hey, Mario Kart Mondays. Wait, why did Mario get got by that? Was it because Mario was in first when it was fired? Oh. Again? All I'm saying, Mario Kart Mondays, I've said I'm going to do Transformed. Nitro Field would not be against my rules. Whereas Ring Race is it. I'm kidding. Somewhat. The problem is I've got a lot of stuff I want to fit in. The issue is, as I said, I get back next week. A lot of that's Mario Kart 8. I want to at least keep some variety. Like, there's Mario Kart 8 as part of the Archipelago plan that I have. I actually have 2 Archipelago plans, but one of them involves Mario Kart 8. One of them's Mario Kart 8 on its, as in vanilla. One of them's play CTGP DX and do like a similar All Cups thing like I'm doing here. And I still want to do like online matches for 8 Deluxe as well, so it's like there's a lot of 8 and not a lot of much else, but then also not much time until until Switch 2 comes out, so I'm like, how am I gonna like schedule this all to where it doesn't get too repetitive or whatever, so I'm still trying to figure that out. Like what, I've got like 5 or 6 of these before Switch 2, probably like 5 is most realistic, so kinda gotta make it count. Yeah, so I don't just want it to be 8 spam in the run-up to World either. Like, I do want different things in there all the same. Hey, this is the 3rd track, isn't it? So it should just be Snares Rainbow Road after this, then we're back to Nitros. Snares Rainbow Road, as I've already mentioned, will be an experience. Ring Racer separates the girls from the boys, yeah, because I don't want to play it. As I said, I played it, I'd probably play it online, just, I was very put off by how in-depth it was. I used the cheat code, but it's like, by using the cheat code, I probably just missed out on a bunch of important tutorials and stuff. Like, SRB 2 Kart was so simple in comparison. Like, it was so easy that I didn't need the tutorial. That's kind of the half the point. Oh, we do have some Snares Rainbow Road. Get in. Also, we got we got the Rainbow Thwomps. Let's go. Oh, is the ground shaking every time one of the Thwomps? Is that what's going on? I'm kind of struggling to tell where the jumps are coming from, because if they were just like standard SNES jumps, I didn't see them. I think just staying on the course here might be the play. I get the feeling the CPUs might be amazing at staying on the course. Oh, that was a jump. They're just really small. Oh, I told you it has a Jenny add-on? Yeah, but it already has a, First of all, those days are long over. Second of all, you know, it's got some pretty cool characters in the base game. Like, I'll take Sergeant Mighty. They'll absolutely do with the base game characters for me. Like, I don't need any more convincing with the roster. Yeah, but Metal's in most stuff, so I'll take the characters who aren't in most things, you know? That's me all over. That's not this Rainbow Road. Whoa, I hit the jump point. Oh well, I'm lapping Dry Bones, so it doesn't matter that he just overtook me at the last minute anyway. Just kind of hoping I can just smack him with the item box, just to be a bit rude. I just want you to play Ring Race so I can do the thrashing for a change. Look, CTR Nitro feud. What's he say that? You've been doing pretty good at Deluxe in the last couple of times we've been on. Okay, more racing. I mean, I will probably do it at some point. I had planned to set up a server for it when it came out. I was gonna like leave a server running, so I'd always wanted to do that for SLB2 Kart. And then I never found any good documentation on how to do that. So I did it for Minecraft, and then we kind of all never played on the Minecraft server. It's still up, just not. It goes inactive for like 15 minutes if no one's connected, so it's not using anything to exist, but we still never play it. Right, any picks? We will at some point have to go Wario Peachy, of course, but anything else is fair game, and repeats are probably fair too, I imagine. No, it is exclusively Red Shy Guy. I am a little sad about that. Oh, you can see the colour kind of freaks out at the top there. Is it trying to go green and then goes red? I don't know. Weird. On the top screen, that is. Anyway, I already did Luigi, actually, didn't I? Dry Bones, why not? I should probably take something semi-good, considering I don't know these tracks. Let's go on brand. Let's go Dry Bombing. Okay. Is it on this page? So it's this page now. Ooh, some of these are pretty good. Cartville's a very good one. I like this one a lot. So hey, Animal Crossing music, let's go. It's probably nicked from the actual Wii U Animal Crossing track, which is also in the pack. I don't think it's a different one. Oh yeah, I gotta save the surprise for that one at some point, haven't I? We got loads of more retros, as you can see. That's not an issue. Oh, good, good. I spammed L there, but it was just a little too late. That's not too late, however. That was actually a good red shell dodge in this game. Like I said, can't just hold a thing behind you and expect it to work. It will just go around your banana on purpose. It's not like an accident. It's just pathing thing. Like, it will specifically go around it, so you just have to do it last second. This is a good way to start back off the Nitros again, for sure. It's very simple, but sometimes simple just works well, you know. I sure hope there's no one by me. Clueless. Yeah, that's it. Like, I actually quite like this pack for the simple tracks. Like, most of the retros are really simple compared to, like, you know, even the Wii ones are like Luigi circuit, DS circuit, or, you know, not DS circuit, you get the point. Like, you know, a lot of the way easier tracks, because A, they're easy to recreate, but B, they're just, especially in an engine like this, you know, where you're very like input heavy and things like that, and like a lot of the racing comes from less so like item play and things like that, but more just like technical skill. You know, like input speed or whatever. It's nice to actually have some basic tracks for that reason, I imagine, like from the community's perspective as well. Like, you don't want like these super complex, like twisty, windy courses. You want something you can just go in a straight line and go brrr on or whatever for long enough, you know? So I also think it fits the game it's in quite a bit better. So yeah, I really like its approach to custom tracks. The nice part, like, this has already been a really good, like, one of my favourite, probably like, of the Nitro Cups we played, this has probably been my favourite so far, and we're only like a little bit into it. Because the courses feel right at home, so, you know, it's perfect at that point. I haven't seen that I haven't seen the roughness that other CTGP is going to have. I mean, Wii is kind of infamous for roughness in terms of the tracks are very, very well made, but there's a certain point where it's like, okay, the tools are all 15 years old, the community is like very mature in the sense of, you know, like the ability to make these tracks, so they just get really complex, like 5-minute long gauntlets, whatever, and it's like, yeah, I get why people are also really into this, but a lot of people, like even, you know, very good players, feel very alienated by it, and that's exactly why Retro Rewind came to exist, to, like, bring just way simpler, easier, more down-to-earth Mario Kart tracks back into Wii a little bit as well. Yeah, 7's a legacy for sure. You just gotta keep them there for the culture, you know? I mean, I love a good autumn track as well, so that was always going to appeal to me. Now this one seems like it could be a bit more dicey, but give it a chance. That last track was in 7, right? Is it? I've played all of 7's tracks, and I honestly forget. That was admittedly years ago. It was 2023 I did all of the cups in 7, I think. So maybe it is, and I'm just forgetting, actually. It feels possible. Like, there is a lot of the stuff in here is ports of other games' tracks, just because, once again, it's pretty easy to do, especially if you made the track. It's just a fun way to mess with tools. Since you already made the track, you've just got to mess with, like, recreating it in a new thing, rather than creating something completely new from scratch. But this track's fine. It looks really daunting at first, but actually very simple to navigate. And I nearly said not too easy to pull off. Yeah, and again, legacy, exactly. Boink. Oh! Ports of the custom tracks are equivalent to retro tracks. Yeah, exactly. Especially if you made them as well. Goodbye, Red Shell, by the way. Especially if you made them, like, you're familiar with, like, the intricacies of how it should work, so it's just a way to get acquainted with new tools 100%, and yeah, I don't know. I just think it's neat. You could basically chalk all of Mario Kart Mondays so far up to why I've played these games. I think they're neat. Oop, that was a little close though. Yeah, this isn't too bad at all. Like, very forgiving corners. Like, some of these tracks that are similar to this with, like, you know, no railings or whatever are just very, like, difficult to tell what's upcoming if you're sight reading it or, you know, doing a first playthrough or whatever. But, like, very well signposted, pretty obvious where you're meant to go. Really nice track. It's been a very good cup so far. Need to grab the Mario Kart OSTs and do it. I mean, don't have to speak to their quality because, like the rest of us, you played these games for a long time. So you already know they're good because you've heard them enough in the game. This one has the potential to have the same problems, but I'm already seeing more signposts than I've seen on equivalent tracks, so Nitro benefits from years of working out what makes good tracks. That is actually very true. I get the feeling they're not meant to flicker and flash. That might just be like a texture thing, or maybe they are, I don't know. Yes, the DS custom tracks have been a thing for like a while, just not very mature, because everyone was always focusing on Mario Kart Wii and things, and a lot more difficult than Mario Kart Wii in that sense of you've got like typical console constraints to work with, like, you know, the Wii isn't PC architecture, but a lot more like lenient and like a PC in that sense, whereas you've got to cram this all into like a 32 megabyte ROM or whatever and make sure you're optimizing it for like a small handheld. Even like 7 doesn't. 7 has to deal with constraints quite a bit, but like not to the level this does. Yeah, it was always just more tempting to work on a new thing with better tools or whatever, but as you say, then in turn, like people have already done a lot of the science on, oh, what actually makes this drivable and fun to play and things like that. Doesn't catch up to everyone, because some of the earlier tracks we played weren't the best, but I still appreciate the effort nonetheless, and things like that. But yeah, you definitely get to piggyback off the years of science already done by other communities when a revolution like this takes off, because there have been custom packs for like 10 years, but none of them have really been all that worth playing until this one came along. Because, you know, it had actual track picking quality and things like that, and a lot of tracks the others, because of their time frame of release, wouldn't have had, and they didn't need to do that. Really early stuff that sticks around since it's attained classic status. Mushroom Pigs. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that in Wii for sure. They've kind of only just started getting over. Don't get me wrong, I was one of the people who believe that should have stayed instead of becoming a legacy track. Oh, I think it's a cheat code now. That you have to set before playing the game so people can't spam vote it. But, you know, I definitely also think tracks like that have their place, just as long as there's not too many of them and you make sure to leave it to the most iconic ones or whatever. You don't really have the iconic one in the case of something like DS, because once again, started so late. Okay, another one down. Very good cup. It was a very nice track to end with as well. I wanna check out this Yoshi. He's got a hat. He's cool. Before this is pretty much DS Deluxe. Yeah, DS Deluxe isn't very good. Okay, got something cool. Oh, I have played Yoshi Mountain. It's not very good. Wait, where's the... What happened to the textures? Did they just get deloaded? Because something else was using them or whatever? I'm guessing maybe. Weird. Missed my start boost because of you. I know I could time it with sounds, but I'm not doing that. Even stuff like Mario 64 DS was like way quicker to get modding tools than this, which, you know, on one hand makes sense, it's a mainline Mario game, but on the other hand, Mario 64 DS. Not many people were too into that game. I like DS, once you give it an analog patch. Oh, it's got sections! That's cute. At least I think this is sections, right? Or is this just actually a lap? Oh no, this is just a lap, okay. I thought it went in a different direction. Never mind. I prefer it with analog. Oh, I massively prefer Mario 64 DS. I've gotten used to Mario 64 over the years, but DS is a very fun game. I like its weird quirks. Yeah, anyway, like, that's what I mean. Like, most people don't like it very much, so it surprises me that it had a really good modding community before this game did, for example. A beloved DS game and a staple of the hardware for, like, many people, versus a game that launched with it and I didn't play for much longer afterwards, or whatever, in most people's eyes, you know. R4 cards? I mean... the same benefit here, right? Yeah, I didn't get an R4 until the DS was long dead. I had the opportunity, but I actually went against it, which is weird. Most kids would be like, hey, you can have more games. And would be like, yeah, and I think I was off with it, and I was like, nah, I'm okay. I'd rather actually buy the games. Not my money, but also, even as a kid, apparently wanted to be above board. I only got it like years after, actually, because of, I think it was because of newer Super Mario Bros. DS, which, you know, ROM hacked by the same person who did a lot of the heavy lifting of Mario 64 DS. But I think that was one of the things that, once a collector, always a collector. I think it was less that and more just generally a bit of a scaredy cat of a child, didn't want to get in trouble, I think was mainly the issue. Not that anyone buying R4's ever really got anything coming to them. It's most of the distributors, but you don't know that when you're 8. Like, piracy adverts work. Very much the opposite, actually. Most of my DS games from a kid are long gone. The only ones I still have is like Mario Kart DS, because that was my sister's, and she didn't sell stuff. So therefore, that's fine. Sonic Classic Collection I never got rid of all things for some reason. I assure you, Larry, I absolutely would. Yeah, I'm trying to think of DS games I actually kept. Sonic Classic Collection, definitely. Nothing else immediately comes to mind that was actually mine. I'm trying to rack my brain, but like literally everything else I think I would have sold. Like, I very much did that with, you know, this is how it is when you're a kid. You go self-stuff to buy stuff, especially when you don't want to buy the card that can play all the games, regardless. Yeah, it kind of does for me as well. I don't like going back to it, but probably where I most thoroughly played the classics for the most part, at least 1 and 2. But don't get me wrong, I never finished any of them or anything like that, but I feel like I spent a good chunk of time on Classic Collection. And I had a DSi by that point in time, so I never had an issue with like the lower clock speeds or whatever, because the DSi enhanced version to mess about with. So what would that have been when it came out, or would that have been like relatively later? Like, oh my god, Sonic 3, no way. It's like 7 or 8 when that came out, and I already owned the classics. It wasn't like my first introduction or anything like that when it came out. Yeah, I was way younger than that. Yeah, it would have been like 7 or 8. I remember seeing it new, and I was like, I already owned these games, and you know, just the allure of having them on the go was really cool. Oh, I don't know what this is remixing, but I recognize it. It's really cool. It's been a pretty good GP so far, I'd say. Great. Yeah, I definitely already had them on Wii. I would have presumably had some others as well. Oh, that was it. Once it's got Sonic 2, you're in. Oh, okay, I meant to fire it forward, but that does also work. Whoops. That's a way to go smack bang into a wall. Did you ever fall for the unlockable 8-bit games hoax? No, because I was a sad child, so by 2009 I was very internet acquainted, so... I mean, you probably were too, to be fair, at that point, but like, I was very much already into like Sonic Retro and Sonic Stadium and stuff, so I kind of already was pretty like hot on hoaxes like that. I also knew no one who played the games, so it was pretty easy to not get playground rumoured, because most kids gave up on Sonic long before I did. Even by like 7, it was already a little late for most of the kids. Oh, that will show them. I'll keep playing them. That'll show them. That'll make me cool. Yeah, no, like, because I was already pretty, like, I never had accounts or anything, but because I was already, like, pretty active in reading them, I was kind of already aware what the games had, how they worked technically to an extent. So I was like, I never really, like, had playground rumours and stuff like that. See, Mario Kart Wii would have been the game, because Mario Kart Wii was, like, the one game everyone in the class had. When that came out, like, no game ever before or after that point was similar. Like, you know, it'd be like, oh, a couple of us got it or whatever. Like, when Mario Kart Wii came out, it was that popular of a system, you know, it had a couple years to sell or whatever. Like, of our class of 30, like, 20 plus had it. It was an insane phenomenon that never happened since. So I always vividly remember, like, oh, no way, you know, I got this character today, or whatever, that sort of stuff. One of the teaching assistants had the game, I vividly remember. We were like 5 or 6. And that was like the hot topic for a while. Like, no way, did you get King Boo? Oh my goodness, no way. Like, that was the peak of school gaming. It never got better from there. Obviously, especially like mobile game eras and stuff as well. I guess you could probably argue people did play like loads of Flappy Bird or whatever, but like that's not definitely it was, you know, not the same vibe for sure. I think I've told the story before, but you can tell just about what era Mario Kart DS came out in from the fact that I'd already got King Boo. King Boo is one of the characters because King Boo was really easy to get. I remember King Boo was like a friend phoned me, as in a physical phone call, on like a Saturday one day to be like, oh no way, I did the 50cc and got King Boo or whatever, and I already had him. I had less of a life. But, you know, I kind of had to go, oh, yeah, really, like, you know, I already had to get him. I'm sadder than you. I knew this already. See, we never had anything ever like that. Like, it was, as I said, Mario Kart Wii was the peak of it all, but, like, we occasionally had, like, bring DS in kind of days. But no one would ever have the same games. I remember once Wi-Fi playing someone on Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. I was the wrong age for. I was the wrong age, and I was like 7 or 8, and I remember it was way too childish. Maybe someone got something out of it, but you know, like never really had like teachers encourage it or anything. It was kind of almost always the opposite. 100%. Like there was never a cool teacher. It was just like, oh yeah, like I do this and that or whatever. It was always like, you know. Screen time bad. Still barely on the edges of screen time bad. Like, once again, you can guess from dates. It's like 7 or 8 by the time iPads started dropping. So, you know, we were barely pre-iPad generation. So by the time they came out, it was the devil. See, that sounds like a cool teacher. Don't get me wrong, everyone has their flaws, I'm sure. Maybe not like a teaching style that suited everyone or whatever, but like, man, that's pretty fun. You were almost an iPad baby? When did we get our first? I was like 10 or whatever before getting any tablets, I think. Yeah, I was nearly secondary school, I think. Because we got 2 that never worked. They were just like completely useless. The option was always... The option that Christmas was like a tablet each, or a shared iPad, because that was still like roughly a good deal. Or it was still a bad deal at that point, I mean, sorry. For the iPad, that is. So it was like, oh, we'll go for the 2, obviously, because you want to have your own your own things and not have to share or whatever, but didn't really work. Went back within like a month. I think. Then like 6 months later was when we got the shared one. But ironically, neither of us really used it. Oh, I think that was... It's my mum who mostly used the tablet, I think. I had a smartphone first. I didn't. I had a phone, but I didn't have a smartphone. First one was a BlackBerry, so once again, very much on the cusp of of being a smartphone kid as well. Yeah, let's go Wario Peachy, why not? A Vodafone rebadged Huawei back when Huawei was just a rebadge. HTC, I forgot about that. Yeah, they were, weren't they? Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Is this the Hobbs? No, I think this is different from the one that's on 3DS, right? Looks very similar though. It was a single touch and could barely run Angry Birds. Those were the days. And it was a flex to be able to run Angry Birds. Also, yeah, this is definitely a different track. Good times. And hey, now your phone can't really run Angry Birds either because they keep delisting it every 5 minutes. I should get my Nokia BlackBerry knockoff as a smartphone. Probably not, in the same way. Would barely count any BlackBerry as a smartphone ones. They did do some smartphone-y ones when they started doing the tablets, I think. They did the Android, which I still think is really cool. I kind of wish they kept making those Androids. Because every time I see it, I'm like, Man, if these were more readily available and they'd kept updating it, I probably actually would have ended up with one of these at some point. Watch Sonic Adventure, the movie, on YouTube on that Nokia. Are we talking the movie as in, like, all cutscenes, back when people used to call all cutscenes the movie, or are we talking, like, someone's, like, fanfiction? You know, my first thing like that had YouTube on it was an iPod Touch, back when they actually had YouTube pre-packaged in. That was, like, was it iOS 4 where that went away? Was it? No, it was iOS 6, wasn't it? I think 5 still barely had it. All the cutscenes, but in chronological order. Yeah, those were the days. I think I mostly ended up watching Mugen, but good times. there's like still a few, like very few, but like 1 or 2 channels that I followed all the way through from like 2010. Gameplay and HUD cropped out. Oh, the vibes. Sonic Shot. I did watch Sonic Shots, yes. I think I've said this before. We got a very early smart TV, like 2009, because we got upsold it, that had YouTube built in, and that was a game changer. Like, the amount of Club Penguin videos on the TV went crazy. But I definitely also remember watching Sonic Shots on the TV, which did nearly get me in trouble, but I pleaded ignorance. I knew what it was. See, I was never as much into the sprite videos. I feel like one of the few people who wasn't into, what was it? Oh god, what was it called? Super Mario Bros. Z. There we go, I know the guy behind it turned out to be a bit of a shithead, but we didn't know that when we were like 10. Yeah, no, that was never really my genre as much. Pretty big on like Let's Plays during that time, I guess. A lot of them probably don't even hang around anymore. I do know a couple though, so it's fun. TTS as well, that's crazy. God damn it. Not even voicing my own Sonic Sprite videos with my like really bad impression. At least said accent. No, my really bad accent, yeah, great, cancelled, well done. My really bad Sonic impression. That still doesn't make any more sense to me, like, I've never... No, actually, that does ring a vague bell, now that you mention it. I don't think they were ever really for me, but that does kind of actually sound familiar now that you mention it. This track's okay. I mean, like, better than most desert tracks. There's a retrospective about it. I'll pop it in the Discord. Please do. That actually kind of sounds... like, the retrospective sounds semi-interesting, I guess. Like, just, like, deep dives into niche communities are always kind of interesting. Oh, here we go. We did it. We did it, Reddit. Let's take another drink real quick. It's probably too early. Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention. Everyone else is just going to see it in Discord and go, what the absolute hell were they talking about on stream today? Oh, hello lag. That is very spicy. Yeah, some tracks do this, unfortunately. They're not like the best optimized or whatever. I was wondering, yeah, this is Cooper Cake posted. Awesome, thank you. Maybe people will see it and go, oh my god, there's a stream live, no way. But hey, we're having fun 2000 posting, that's what counts. Admittedly mid to late, but still. I mean, it was a little more 2010 to me, like 2009, 2010, but still. Oh, that really blindsided me. Okay. I've been watching a lot of time trials of this track recently, so this song has just been stuck frequently in my head for like a week. Oh yeah, a lot of these tracks as well are taken from Kart. That's like the other big one, isn't it, that we both just completely forgot about. I never got around to playing it. It was very memey, which always put me off a little bit, but I feel like there's a lot of tracks from here that are from Kart, so it must have had some like decent quality. You can tell because they always say on the banner or whatever, so it's pretty obvious where they were plucked from. Either, you know, the author or the pack, which, you know, most of the time were very blurred together. I didn't even mean to fall off that time. It just happened. I like going out in style and winning the race in style. I seem to recall this one being quite fun. Oh great! Did I ever watch that Source Filmmaker Sonic 2 prequel? I know the exact one you mean. Sweet Dream, right? Yes. If so, yes. Yes, I did. Wait, no, prequel. It was kind of in the middle of, if it's the same one. If not, it's something different. I know that was Source Filmmaker. At least I think it was Source Filmmaker. If not, I'm gonna have to watch whatever you linked. Oh, you should link it, I mean, and I'll watch it. That's the only one I remember. Like, what, 10 years ago or so now, right? Can't get the GOAT Sonic Hacking Showcase. I mean, that is as one of the YouTubers I am referring to, yes. Still watching. Somewhat, I mean, just posting videos, but every now and then. Oh, I nearly got that as well. Mega G was great. I don't tend to tune in much to the Sonic Hacking Contest coverage anymore, but every now and then. I think I've told the story before. I used to work in a local game, and I just somehow never managed to be in there at the same time. I was also 7, so it would have been a little weird to be a 7-year-old fan. Like, yeah, but that was another one I think I had to feign ignorance on. Like, no, I don't know why this man is swearing at the top of his lungs. Yes, I am watching this on the computer. No, why do you ask? See? I told you they go around you. Come on, this time's the one. Yes! It took out my banana, but it was worth it. That's not what I need for a dodge. Is this War Peach? Or Wario Peachy, whichever way you prefer to say it. Yes, it is, I believe. I didn't realise that until like halfway through the stream, and I was like, oh wait, yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? It's a pretty cool skin. At least I'm pretty sure it is. Now that we know, actually. No, we only had the story for years. Like, was it the Giga Leak that we... I'm going to presume it was where we got the actual design from, or did... Sometimes, like, Camelot and others are, like, really forward with actually just posting design documents and stuff, so that might have been maybe where we actually got it from, I don't know. I'm a little sad that Camelot's too busy for the new Everybody Golf that isn't Everybody Golf. But, you know, it is what it is. Especially since they made that weird knockoff one on the Switch eShop last year. It was like, you know, had they scheduled a little better, because they presumably in the middle of something. Had they scheduled a little better, they actually could have done the new one, the new officially licensed one. Thank you for saving it, Namco, by the way. Can you do like a Roku next? It's alright, Sony may pretend to care for a little bit about Gravity Rush when that movie comes out, so... Supposedly Gravity Rush 2 is still coming to PC, they claim. Okay. The audio dipped, so you could probably hear me drinking that. Oh well, it is a warm day. I am going to keep hydrated. I'm going to go with this Luigi. Why not? He's fun. I'm going to go back into the podcast, I guess. As I said, feel free to chuck any recommendations or whatever in the chat. So that was the third one, right? Okay, so we only got one more of these. Give me a sec. That's Callum complaining about Fortnite. I will give that a couple hours till I respond. Oh, there it is. That it's real. That's the limited run. Everybody gangster till Rido limited run drops. Yes. Do you know why I stumbled across that Alari? Because you sent it to us. I had not heard of it before you sent it to us. It is an abomination, so... less remembering of that I have to do, the better. So you say poorly... Actually, no, they were attempting to disguise it. It seemed to recall. Oh, Shroom Ridge, my goat. I know you always request this for the Geometry Larry. I mean, I'm more of a man of the Mario Kart 8 variety of this song myself, but the original's still so good. I was listening to it earlier again on the bus. It has been on quite a bit recently because I put it in my... when I was playing 51 Worldwide Games with King a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, I really need to just make a VC playlist, which is what I've been playing when we've all been playing Mario Kart recently. So I made sure I actually got it updated with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe stuff. So because of that, I've been back on the Mario Kart 8 soundtrack, and therefore mostly been just shuffling that. Well, not mostly shuffling the soundtrack, just shuffling and going, oh, I feel like playing Shroom Ridge actually. I mean, GBA Skygarden's right next to it, and that's like my other favourite track in the series, so... And yet they still made me go for second place with Shroom Ridge being the best remix. It'd be like that sometimes. That was a really weird noise for that red shell. What was going on there? Great. I cannot even begin to describe how unlucky that was considering how close we were, but fine. We're on the back foot of this at this point. Like the retros are normally pretty short, so you should probably have to get through them in like half an hour, and then it's just 2 cups left. After that, I did it again. I'm actually getting better at it. No way. Oh man, this is the nice one. This is the one time it does not pay to have a protective case on this 3DS because it is just getting so warm. Like, I don't know how fragile. Is this near Bowser City? Yeah, it is. Yeah, like, especially because, like, these are cheap plates or whatever, I don't know how prone to scratching they are, so it's like, oh, I'll put a protective case on it. It's like, yeah, this is great for 6 months of the year, apparently. I don't know why for this song, they were like, do you know what song? Should we make an original song for Neo Bowser City? Nah. Okay, well, what should we do? Like a Bowser remix? A City remix? No, Toad's Turnpike. Yeah, sure, let's go for it. Like, why was that the specific one? There's not even any cars. They're like, yeah, no, this is the one. It's a pretty fun track. I really like the theming of this. Like this glass tunnel and everything. Very cool. Oh. I'm firmly in the dust. I was hoping I could just continue mini turboing through it, but they thought a little bit ahead of me. Oh, this is not the way to go. At least some of these tracks will be trick ready when the tricking update's out, which I know that'll probably come with new tracks as well, but like some of these tracks, especially the ones ported from Wii, have so many ramps, like the colour one from earlier, the weird blocky one. Man, I was going fast enough to where I actually maybe could have dodged that without the boost. Also, what happened to the red? Oh, that's why I could hear them. I was like, I don't remember seeing them on the stage. What we got next? earth is this remix? Oh, this is in CTGPA, I think. I'm pretty sure that's where I recognise this from. But I don't recognise where the music's from at all. I mean, judging on theming, maybe like Castlevania or something. I have no recollection of what this song is. It's not Mario Kart, certainly. At least that I know of, especially from the sound font and stuff. Oh. Wait, no, it's in... I don't think it's in 8. It's in CTGP 7, actually, isn't it? Or was in CTGP 7. I think that's right. I definitely remember a glider section in place of where that pendulum room was. So it's one of the two, but I don't remember which one of the two. Maybe it is 8. I'm not going backwards like 2, it's just a big course. So I forgot the pendulum actually hurts you in this game. I can't remember, is it 8 where it doesn't hurt you? There's one of them, I think, where it just doesn't hurt you, you just drive into it. You just lose all your speed and that's that. What a weird choice of song. I mean, it kind of fits the stage, but it doesn't fit the game. Well. Love the fibs today, don't you? Of this track in particular, it's just been... feels like it's just been giving me fibs. Oop. A little dodge for the fans? No, because I hit the off-road. It was never going to happen. What an odd track. Like, it doesn't even play badly, as I say. It's just the music's so foreboding. Oh, I know this one from the release trailer. This one seems really cool, but I've never actually played it. I like ones with weird gimmicks like this. Like, there's a kind of similar one in Mario Kart Wii, at least there was. I don't know if it's still in Mario Kart Wii, but it was like I think it was called Desktop Dash. You were running across like a desktop, unsurprisingly, but you know, it's like batteries and pens and all sorts of like that sort of stuff, just floating around that you can use as like trick ramps and stuff. Okay, this is gonna take a little while to get used to, and especially gonna be a bit of a bottom screen watcher, I think, for a bit. It's not inherently always obvious where to go. Although some of the obstacles just also aren't on the bottom screen, like those burgers. You're not either. So it's going to be a combination of the two then. This sounds... oh, that sounds so Micro Machines. It really is. It's very fun. Like I say, I don't know if it's still in Wii. Certainly CTGP on Wii has a habit of rotating out tracks a lot because the community just doesn't like them, so yeah, they're not good enough for competitive or whatever, so they just get rolled out. But I always thought it was a fun one. I just enjoy concepts more than I enjoy racing sometimes. I need to vote for that track in A. Which one? I'm sure I just said it, but if I did, it just went out my head immediately. Oh, the bathroom... I nearly called it Bathroom Blitz. It's very different. Squeaky Clean Sprint or something like that, right? It's a decent track. A little too glider heavy at times for my liking. I mean, I just get a bit bored of glider, and in Mario Kart 8, I'm kind of glad it went away. I definitely said it during the Mario Kart 7 stream, but I was surprised by how much more interactive glider is in 7, and I really preferred it. Bathroom Bullets is Wario after a curry. All I'm saying is I'm not going to want to be in the same building. Okay, like, that's just simply how it's going to be. Once you get used to the track layout, this is fine. Just, yeah, wish some of these obstacles were on the bottom screen, as you can guess, but I've not been using the bottom screen too much. I only use it when I don't massively know where to go on the track. Here's the problem, because the bottom screen's like a bitmap from my understanding. You have to make sure to like render certain things on it that aren't there otherwise, and a bunch of isn't allowed back on London Loop. What would be the India equivalent? Maybe that's the reason it's not in there, just after the Wario incident. Can't think of anything beginning with M. Oh, Mumbai Motorway, there you go. It's the reason they cut that one. All I'm saying is that Vindaloo was a little extreme. Who do I want to play as? Oh, I'll do a little bit of classic DK. Now that he's back in fashion. Rambi Rider sucks. It's like one of the statistically worst karts in the game, but also funny. I think it's mainly another one of those really difficult to control ones. Luckily, nothing too taxing. No worries, Alari. See you again in a sec. Like I said, probably not an awful lot longer to go on this. I think these customs will be quite short, but yeah, enjoy. Oh my god, this is absolute shite. Oh my god, okay. This is going to be an uphill battle. He turns and then just stops turning. It's like the second you get any acceleration in there, it's goodbye turning ability. Like he's all good in the drift, and then you get out of drift and it's just like turning through treacle. Okay, yeah, I see why this kart's a meme. I get it. I understand now. Oh my god, you just can't snake. Can I at least hit someone with this green? Yeah, let's go. So the trick is just to stay in drift as long as possible and hop, I'm guessing. Hop whenever you need to turn, make slight micro adjustments or whatever. Anything above like a fourth place placement here will be a miracle. It would be the fourth place miracle, however, so what I said was nearly correct. Oh, the tyres were so close to that. You could have just given it to me as a freebie. I'm suffering enough here. Because I'm firing backwards, I'm being toxic. I don't care. They're CPUs. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. The second you hit dirt as well, his acceleration is just non-existent. You just gotta hope you can get in a drift, and that's all about. His turning is actually okay when you're mini. It's just when I'm guessing the weight's just that bad. Because yeah, like certainly the way to go in DS is just the lowest weight possible, and that normally also equals the best handling. Come back here, Daisy. I'm not lying down and taking that. I am. I absolutely am. Is this track? So, I read it and recognized it, but I don't recognize the scenery. I'm guessing it's just a weird remake of the SNES track. What way left? See, most of the other CPUs aren't having too good of a time on this track, so I might not actually have to use items that much. Welcome back, Alari. Yeah, enjoy that Goomba. Oh, red shirts. See, because of how the track's laid out, I'm actually not having as awful of a time as I am thinking of. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to send you the picture. You summoned them. The second you mentioned about getting your Walkman, I went into CEX today and they actually had 2 of them, including one of the same model that I believe we both have, in red. And I was like, man, that red colour's pretty cool. Is the A1 series the Android one? So it was like A130 or something. It looked like one of the Android ones. I always get a little tempted by those, but I also kind of, yeah, like the logic you mentioned about them, you know, being completely disconnected. Did you mention that, or did I just make that up? I can't remember. Like, I do like that a little bit, that it's just fully disconnected from everything. I'd get easily distracted. 105 and 306. It must have been a 105. I have a picture, so... Oh, you did mention that. I couldn't remember if I was just insane. Oh, so by the way, the track itself's fine. The music track here is so underrated. This is an incredible track. Both this version and 306 replaced 105. Aha. Yeah, like both this version and the Wii one. I honestly don't remember what the GBA one sounds like. Super Circuit, I guess I spent more time with than Super Mario Kart, but it's still like my second least played. Okay. See, I obviously know what first and second would be. Third? I feel like I played Mario Kart 64 quite a bit, but I guess by process of elimination, that would be third? I don't know, it's either that or 7, but I guess CTGP 7 just about saved 7 for me, because otherwise didn't get it till 2016. Then when I got it, I only played it like 5 times before selling it. It was mostly like CTGP 7 that made me get back into 7. Happily use the 306 after taking the 50 blow tip, but I would miss Sense Me channels. What do Sense Me channels do? Remind me. It's been ages since I would have looked into that sort of thing. I don't like playlist build or anything. Like occasionally on Spotify, but like not on my devices, where I have a limited music selection or whatever, so I didn't really investigate too many of those bits. Also, I'm sure you could make like an equivalent feature potentially on the Sony one, right? Oh, did I say Sony one? I meant the Android one. It took a while to register. It was like the 30-second run back. It was like, wait, no, you said something dumb. Correct it now. Analyze the music on the PC software. In the PC software, so it's not like AI, because, you know, dirty word, but it's what, like, looking for like BPMs and genres and things, I'm guessing, right, to determine that. That's pretty interesting. Never would have thought about something like that. See, I don't think I ever used software on it. I always just moved stuff over USB. So I never really messed with... As I said, I hacked mine. I did the Mr. Walkman stuff to like unlock the Bluetooth radio, or like remove the volume limit and add in the FM radio stuff. But I think it gives you a better sound profile than it comes with by default as well. I think it upgrades it to one of the higher end. It sounds more like one of the higher end ones or something. Also, yeah, here's your solution to no bouncing mushrooms. I'm happy with stock. I was as well, I just messed with it out of curiosity and I liked the features I got. But as I say, that was like the only software I ever connected it to. I never messed with like the actual like Sony syncing stuff, because I always just moved it over USB. Windows only, good point. I mean, you don't have an incredibly scuffed VM for very specific purposes, just like that. A little sad they couldn't cram Mushroom Gorge music into this, but I mean, Yoshi Falls will do as an alternative. Very good implementation of the track, considering the whole possibility. Everything I've ever wanted to do is possible in Wine. You're very lucky, because I did not have the same experience, even excluding random things like Radio DJ, which yeah, is always going to be a pain in the ass. Like, I use iTunes for too much digital music because, you know, no one wants to sell you anything anymore. It's like, yeah, well, good luck ever using that online. So I think I think that was one of the first things after failing to set it up in Wine for a few hours that I VM'd for. It was like that and some very specific other things that just were way too cumbersome. Nice. I thought I was actually going to dodge that by a few pixels. Oh yeah. So this is the... No, it's not... Oh god, this is only like the first set of retros, isn't it? Why did I do that? Yeah, because the last one we were playing as Wario Pichu, weren't we? And it was still... Oh boy. My first bad placement, let's go. Yeah, no, I think the last one was still Nitros, so uh-oh. Oh no, I've been matched. Oh no, I haven't, I've been flat out beat. Oops. Yeah, that was gonna happen sooner or later. Right. So who haven't I been yet? I've not been Base Mario, Base Peach. I've been Toad. Let's go Toad. Okay. I wish it would save these settings like Wii and onwards does. It's a little annoying that it doesn't, honestly. Okay, will this be a bit quicker? Blooper Surfing Safari, by the way, what a pick. Let's be a bit quicker, this one should be. None of these are too long. There's like a lot of 3-minute tracks in the last one, I think was part of the issue, that and the world's slowest car. Oh, hello lag. I don't know why, I'm not sure what about this stage is more complex than some of the ones we've had recently, but okay. Oop, that's not how I wanted to do that. Okay, we're back in there at long last after suffering with that DK. Had I charged that a little bit earlier, I definitely could have got that. I'm guessing that shell's gonna get me. There's not much I can do between now and then to break the path. Man, it's nice to be back to racing fast in a good car. I can't wait for that to go round me. I knew it was happening. I knew I'd pulled it out too early. No, not a word. It's so satisfying to go on the straight and actually like pull off some cool mini turbos. That's what I love about this game. When you can do stuff like this, even I'm like far from good or whatever, but there's still like some satisfaction. Oh, cool! I'm actually, you know, pulling this off or whatever. It's like a good sense of speed, even though the sense of speed normally in this game is quite slow for as much as I love it. But you know, you can bring back that sense of speed a little bit. I don't know. DS is just cool. Like no matter what way you play, you know. A little bias. I think this game is cool. Otherwise, there's not an awful lot going on in this track, minus the occasional things they keep throwing at me to try and slow me down. And it's just a lot of straights and things, so perfect for it. Nice. It tends not to be interested in tech stuff. That is perfectly fair as well. I've just found myself a new appreciation for it, having played this game. Like the last year or so, like just trying to see how much I can learn and push myself and things. Like not to an aggressive degree or anything like that. Just like, oh, like you're spear glider too then? No. What even is spear gliding? You have to remind me. I mean, I never tend to get very good at any of that, but like I like the personal improvement aspect of like, oh cool, seeing how good I can get at like a, you know, a certain trick or whatever. There's always like a personal, you know, the personal improvement side of things of that sort of tech stuff. Oh no, absolutely not. Not only does that murder your hands way more than this, but it's also just more difficult to pull off. I definitely played that as intended, as the last playthrough proved. Something like that would be cool, but I don't know. I'm perfectly fine with running through the stages in a game like that, but sort of like kart racing, and you know, I can absolutely do that just for some thrills in some games. And other games I'm like, cool, I'll just leave it as is. Yeah, this stage is interesting. As you can tell, I'm basically sliding on ice at all times, but it's authentic, you know? They were true to the source material. It just wouldn't feel right if I could barely control myself. Except the difference is here, I don't have to restart the entire Grand Prix when I hit a wall. They should consider that and add that as a feature. Even had I not fired that forward by complete accident, that never would have worked, but that did work, however. Oh, nice. Less nice. Is this the sunshine thing? Yes, it is. What is it? It's not gelato. I cannot remember the name of the level for the life of me, even though I was watching some sunshine yesterday. The second one. Still never played that game. Not so much. I think also from the same technical perspective, that's a very interesting game. Like, you know, watching speedruns and things, I always found Sunshine like one of the more, like probably in terms of the 3D Mario's, the coolest one to watch. Like, I always found it way more interesting than Super Mario 64, which is the greatest thing to ever be invented or whatever. In that sense, I just thought Sunshine was a really fun watch, so ended up spending a lot of the 2010s just lurking watching the Sunshine speedruns or doing homework or whatever. It was like a lot of it. Only a few of its unskippable cutscenes. Did Mario 64 invented Miyamoto? True. Like, just didn't exist. It's incredible. I always think that's like an interesting speedrun, but I don't think it's like the greatest thing ever deserves to be like the #1 most played game or whatever, which actually I think Subway Surfers now, which is really funny to me, because people get really salty about what should be a game and what shouldn't be, etc. So it's just nice to watch people mod. Then it set him back in time to create Donkey Kong. Yeah, people are still going on about the whole, oh, hates the rare designs and things like that, because wasn't that all completely debunked? It's just, I get it, wanting to go in a completely different direction with something. Whoa, if Nintendo Korea's pictures to be believed, they're retconning all of Donkey Kong lore as well, which is the slightly more questionable thing, because it means that Donkey Kong had to know Pauline as a child, which just kind of throws everything else into complete disarray, especially since apparently it's not Cranky they've already confirmed as well, which makes things even weirder. It's like, okay, so this is current Donkey Kong. There's got to be some time travel, right? The one time you want there to be a time travel plot. There's a slope that got me there. I don't know, I think that game has potential to be interesting. I don't get why people are pre-ordering it, minus the Argos getting it for like 20 quid off thing, because it's not going anywhere. It comes out like a month after launch. Like, I don't get pre-order because I'll be like that. I was thinking earlier that Sonic I gave away my card there. Sonic 4 might be a time travel plot. Sonic CD. I'm sure that's what it's been retconned into. I didn't read how it places into that new Sonic Channel timeline. All I know is that Sonic Shuffle is somehow in there, and that really confuses me. Like, even 06 is in that timeline. It's like, but having just finished it, I definitely remembered correctly, it definitely erases itself. So how does that somehow slot in? Yes, the act of it erasing itself slots itself in. Also, here we go. This was the secret I was keeping. They actually have the weather/season system in here. Like, we bring back Robotnik if Jim Carrey comes back. Oh, you mean like, right. For a second I thought you meant like the game, which, in both aspects, apparently Sonic CD is relevant, because didn't an insider who was mostly correct about Sonic 3 say that it was going to have, unsurprisingly because of Amy and Nettle, some Sonic CD elements? So time travel would absolutely work if Jim Carrey decides he loves the script. Loves the script enough, you know. That could work. I feel like that's their get out of jail free card for that, for sure. Here we go. Here it comes. I hope if they did, they would leave it as is, though. Like, oh, he comes back for the one time travel film, but then the ending of 3 still sticks. But time travel is just always messy, so even if they did intend for it to be like that, it wouldn't make much sense. Future Stone could just grab him at any point of the explosion. Very true. Oh boy! Honey, it's time for your minutely blue shell. Oh, so yeah, this has been a much quicker GP, unsurprisingly. I think this is the last one of the GP, if I remember correctly. I remember reading Wii U as the last one, so it makes sense. Oop. A bit skew with there. Didn't seem to impact me too much. Yeah, I really like that remake. Once again, a course that really fits well with the style of MKDS, so perfect. What I hope for is a CD and Ovation adaptation in one. Oh, you mean as in one film, right? OVA would never happen, but a generation can dream, okay. Go a classic Daisy, why not? Tank time. We know she's on a warpath. Cool. Take elements from both. That is true. They overlap enough to where you could pretty easily do that. Okay, should be another simple enough one. Oh, so yeah, there is Moonview Highway. So there we go. That's where they took the music from. Weirdly, everyone always, you know, as I said at the start of the stream, everyone always goes, "Oh god, MKDS, your hand's gonna cramp up." They are right. Congrats, you win. 2.5 hours in, my hand has cramped up. The right one. My left one's perfectly fine. My right one is the one that's cramped. Which would happen if I was playing the game quote-unquote normally anyway. So you were right, take your money, but not for snaking reasons. I rewatched OVA the other day, been on a Sonic adaptation kick. I mean, I really love the Sonic OVA. I'm not shy about that. I just avoid the dub like the plague. There's been some pretty good retranslations recently because the Google Play re-release, meaning we actually have good quality footage now. I think it was Windy who went back and retranslated the translation that we did have. So I watched it a few years ago, and then an even higher quality version came out, like not long after. I think it was like 2022. So yeah, definitely been a little overdue. Started Knuckles too. Best of luck. I've still never finished Knuckles. It's free on ITVX. I saw the other day when I was on my PS5 though. I mean, I think I was on my PS5 because of Fist of the North Star, but I was like, huh, that's kind of interesting. I mean, I think it's on Netflix in the UK from memory. Is it Netflix? No, Paramount. Oh, no, we have Paramount, so why? I don't know. Like the human stuff? I do too. But I don't like Knuckles. You know I'm a big defender of the wedding subplot. You've been in the same servers as me for long enough. It's also interesting that none of it matters to the plot of Sonic 3 whatsoever. Like, you could have made it somewhat consequential, I guess they just chose not to. I think there's like a tiny reference to one of the later episodes supposedly, and that is the most Knuckles matters for the entire thing. Finish it one day, I just felt absolutely like no rush to, personally, but maybe it picks up a bit in the later episodes. Remix though. Yeah, that's it. It is completely relevant. I've already seen the usual fan recuts that just remove the entire thing. I was like, well, enjoy half the plot not making sense, I guess, then, because it's relevant to the plot. It's not like it's completely irrelevant as people make it out to be. It is relevant. Still need. I probably missed my opportunity. I know the Blu-rays have gone out for general sale now. I don't know whether the steelbooks already went out. Got Coconut Mold. It happens to the best of us. Yeah, I probably already missed my opportunity on the steelbook, but I just did not jump on that. I mean, I only watched the film in cinemas once. I watched like Sonic 3 times, I think. Oh, sorry, Sonic 2 3 times. But I liked 3. I just never felt compelled to go back and watch it again. 3 was my favourite of the bunch. It just was like, cool, I watched it once, that was a really good film. It wasn't like, oh, I gotta go and watch it again and show everyone this or whatever. Like, it didn't hit me in that same way it hit everyone else to watch it like 20 times or whatever I've heard some ridiculous records of. Just to keep up with my steelbooks for 1 and 2, I would at least go out my way to get that and rip it and stuff for my own collection. Knuckles also got a I think I've said this before, Knuckles got a steelbook in America. We didn't get it. We didn't even get it in 4K in the UK. It was DVD and Blu-ray only. Very nice. Yeah, like, that was really odd to me. They didn't bother releasing it in 4K here, because I would have at least bought it on Blu-ray. At some point when I end up getting some more stuff from America, I'll probably try and get it, because I think, because it's Knuckles, it's still relatively cheap from what I recall. I see Knuckles all the time on DVD in places. I think it's like a regular in most Asdas. It seems to be like a countrywide stock thing, but not Blu-ray. Just the DVD. I mean, that's pretty standard. DVD is still way bigger than Blu-ray is, because just give it to the kids or grandma for Christmas or whatever. For, like the 2 demographics. Yeah, I've not watched it since it came home at all, even though it's been on streaming services. See? They get the balance right. The third one is veering into maybe we're gonna get the balance a bit wrong in 4 in the sense of, yeah, the fans will be happy, but it alienates general audiences, because general audiences seem to like those films way more than other video game films. They're just like, look, lore, back to back, or whatever. You know, the consensus from most audiences seems to have been pretty positive to Sonic versus general Mario movie audiences, for example, which, you know, way more people like Mario, so it's a worse statistic or whatever to compare against, but, like, if you don't like Mario, it's way too Mario, whereas Sonic's not way too Sonic if you don't like Sonic, you know, which is, more people don't like Sonic and more people don't like Mario, you know. You know, it hurts to admit the truth, but it absolutely is the truth. The same balance as the Text Pikachu. Still not watched it, which, now that I've finished the game, I should. But I just never got to it. I need to get the 4K of it, actually. I think I only have the standard Blu-ray, and I'd like to watch it in 4K, I guess. Yeah. Should do it at some point. The random holes are just so difficult to see. I'm sure I could see them on the bottom screen, but I'm looking at the top, and they're just pixels that only come into view as I'm falling into them. This also isn't as ice physicsy as that one stage. Oh, the blooper surfing safari. Maybe hold off. It concludes the Harry mystery. From memory, I don't even think Returns concludes anything. From what I remember hearing, I could be wrong. At some point, I'll do Returns. It's just not a priority game. After I did like loads of Pokemon back in. I did Scarlet and Pikachu back to back, so when I was considering a new playthrough, I was like, well, I'll leave that for a bit. And then it was what, All-Stars Racing DS, then Fist of the North Star, which was just kind of an off-the-cuff decision. I wasn't going to do another one for a little bit, because the plan has always been to go back and do Pokemon Scarlet, but it just gets pushed back by things quite a lot, mainly Switch 2, and then it's going to be even longer once that's out, because I don't think we have a confirmation on when the Pokemon patch is coming out yet. Because I was just running under the assumption that it wasn't going to get a patch, so I was just going to do it whenever I had my Switch 2, and therefore, could get some nice quality footage, but presumably the patch is going to make it even better, so it's worth waiting for that. But yeah, because of that, I held off on Detective Pikachu Returns on another playthrough I was thinking about doing. It's about Harry and the 3DS game matchup with where the film takes it. That makes sense. I know you said watching, it was like, oh yeah, I recognise most of this from the film. Yeah, I've not played it, so I could be wrong, but my memory is that people said that Returns doesn't even finish the story, so there's also the chance I play Returns and I still get spoiled on the third game that's definitely going to happen in the next 10 years, I'm sure. I'm sure it won't get stuck in development hell clearly like Returns did. Case in point, it's only got Gen 8 Pokemon, and even then was probably intended for 3DS at one point still. That was sketch, for sure. Say it was sketch, it wasn't too sketch. It wasn't that close to falling off. Probably would have been Detective Pikachu Returns Nintendo 2DS. New 2DS, sorry, that makes sense. I don't know if we ever had confirmation it was on 3DS, just timing would match up with that, I guess. Well, we know it was like, it has to be 2018 or earlier because of Gen 8. Although it's very possible they could have also been added midway into development, but case in point, the game having been stuck in limbo for so long is why Gen 9 wasn't added, despite Gen 9 already being out. Presumably. I think the story's been told at some point, but I can't remember why. We probably have more info because of the Game Freak, Giga Leak and stuff now, but I don't think I've ever read that part of it, if it exists. COVID? I don't know if it was just COVID, but it partially would make sense. Timing-wise definitely makes sense. Okay, another one down. That was a very derpy image, good lord. I kinda want Creepy Toad. I think I'm gonna go Marshmallow, actually. The standard 4 races. Is our final one? Yes. Okay, and then we just got 2 more after this. Let's do it. I'm trying to think, is there anyone we just flat out not had in any form? I think Bowser, right? Bowser's the only character who hasn't been covered at this point, right? I'll probably go Bowser next GP, and then I know what the people want. Now the people want to end this off. Come on, please. Yep. Yes, moment. I thought from the shimmering there were already items on this bridge, and I was really baffled considering I was in first. Someone went backwards, bagged, and then just threw them all on the bridge just to mess with me. Oop. That's not how you stay on the path. Not the biggest fan of this course in any iteration, but this one's fine. This version of it's fine, I mean. It was way worse in CTGP 7. Where we all just kept falling off that side of the bridge because of the glider stuff. It's fine here. I think it's fine mostly because it doesn't have the mud physics that this track normally comes with. Like, I can actually just drive in a straight line. It's really nice. Oh, can I dodge that? Can it fly? I'm gonna guess it can't. Wow, a lot of bloopers in this race. Yeah, it's probably only been like 2, but still, that feels like quite a lot. But you know what we've not had much of? So now I wait to see how long it takes on them to pull it, although... How many item boxes are there? And I know I'm not using mine very much, but even still, not very many. Like, getting them and using them, looking at the bottom screen, like, they just use them immediately for some reason. Really weird. Anyway, doesn't concern me at all. I'm out. Oh boy, which one is this based on? I honestly don't remember. Is it based on the Wii U layout or the original? It's the original, I don't remember where to go. Nope, it's Wii U. I'm good. Wii U is go left the track. Go left, then go left again, and that's the fastest way through. Whereas the original, Yoshi Valley is a bit more of a mess in that sense. So luckily most things just seem to follow this layout nowadays, which is nice and simple for my brain to remember. Oh, hey Blue Shell. Jeez, that is a long way away. Left that too late. This car's quite alright considering it's not like one of the more played ones, so I kind of stayed away from it, minus the novelty factor. But actually it's really good, I quite like this. Certainly keeping me, you know, warm in first place and all that. What on earth was the blooper noise? It's kind of bugged out, I think. Where was that? Oh, was it all the way over there? Just I heard it because I was close enough to them. I think so. Okay. Oh, the fatigue of this is starting to hit me a little bit now, but as I said, not from the left-hand perspective. More just the, oh my goodness, it's been 3 hours perspective. Great. Barely manage 1 hour of gaming these days. It happens to the best of us, don't worry. Not to me, I played like 7 or 8 hours of Pokemon yesterday, but still. Hopefully on track to finish Emerald tonight, depending on what time this game lets me get away. Stay up a little bit or whatever to get it done. Can you take the ramp on this? No, there's an invisible wall there. Darn. Can't even conceive those types of sessions anymore. Easier when you don't have a life. Let me tell you. So I need to return to Emerald. Yeah, I'm like right at the end of it. I mean, I assume you've played the game before. It's probably not spoilers at this point, especially with other versions existing. I'm right at the end. I just did the 8th gem. Wait, did I do the... Yeah, I did the 8th gem. I finished the 8th gem, yes. I'm literally just like... Elite 4 at this point left, I believe. And Victory Road and stuff. My team is like severely underleveled, but thankfully Rayquaza exists. I don't know why, like I've been doing as many trains as I can when I come across them, and I'm still just very severely underleveled, so thank god that one option exists so I just don't have to deal with leveling, I guess. For the most part anyway. I might have to do like a little bit, but much less than I would have to do. Went off the 3DS because of a screen rep glitch that can happen on cards larger than 32 gig. How did you do that? Also, what in? Do you mean in a specific like game, like I don't know, still on Emerald or whatever, or was this just in general for GBA games? I've never heard of that. I've always used like 64 gigs or bigger on my 3DS, like even like, you know, back in the early days of hacking or whatever, and never had an issue with that. That's really weird. Is it just a known thing that's like, well, tough luck, you can't do anything about it? Yeah, I've never heard of that. That's really odd. I mean, this 3DS wouldn't have the problem because this capture one has an 8 gig. Oh, that's really strange. Oh. Oh well, you got your handhelds. I mean, you can probably pull the save from 3DS easily enough in that sort of situation had you got far in it or whatever. Can't imagine it'd be too bad to run it for a save file converter or whatever. Please be one. Okay, it's 2. Oh my goodness, this uses so many music channels, just drifting is ruining the song. Oh no, it's not. It was mostly items that were ruining the song. But hey, actual N64 Rainbow Road. Oh, it does. That's built in. That's really cool. Too early. Yeah, I knew it could do that for like DS and stuff, but I've never used it for GBA ones. That's nice. I know for a fact that if you ever bought, you know, like any of the Game Boy, pretty much any Virtual Console game, God Mode 9 could rip them, because I used that to get my Crystal ROM out, which is how I play it on, like Archipelagos and stuff using a legit ROM, because all of the IPS patches are IPS patches, it's not applied to the ROM, so it just reads in an emulator as just a normal Revision 1 Crystal card, which is really cool. One more reason to get the Flip 2. Haven't there been reports of the Flip 2 having issues recently? Or was that... No, that's... I don't know. Can't remember. Most of those devices have some teething issues anyway, but might be the other one I'm thinking of. My Flip, yeah, that right, yeah. Forgot that one existed. It's a packed market nowadays. That one I sent the other day is godly looking though. Very expensive, but hey, it can play Sega Saturn. It's gorgeous looking. It really does, and that is going to be an issue. Because I love the Game Boy form factor and the Saturn buttons. Just do it for me. It would be so inconvenient for most games, but like, I only play... Oh my god. I only play like 4-button games anyway, so you can just map A, B, X, Y and just pretend it was a 4-button. Yeah, it just looks so clean. I'm like, Were it not so close to the Switch 2, that would be a bit more of a consideration to it. Kinda wish it had a single analog stick. Yeah, I'm kind of at the point of not caring about analog on that sort of thing personally, but it would be nice, I can agree. Especially because of Saturn, like, come on. You need that 3D pad support, obviously. That's why we want the stick, surely? Most people wouldn't be using it for PS1, no, they'd be using it for Saturn, yes. Cool, right, 2 more GPs to go. Sorry, I said no Bowser, so... Yeah, I've done everyone else as far as I can recall, so... Bowser time. Let's get him in the tank, because it's just fine to me. Okay, there's everything here, so it's just these 2. Oh my god, yeah, that's a very good point. Pro Mario Circuit 2. Do I want to know why it's pro? I'll find out. Oh, because it's got sharp corners, that's why it's pro. Of course, of course. I forgot the golden rule. What's the difference? Oh. You take one corner, you go in a loop? No, you just go a longer way round. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's been overstated how much you need to run a Saturn for years. Like, people assume that because it couldn't run on the Pi, then you need a supercomputer. Like, you really don't need a supercomputer for it. You just... No. I hope the bomb would get it. You don't need a supercomputer for it. You just need, like, a bit more grunt than, like, a microcomputer can offer, which nowadays these things are getting powerful enough to where... can absolutely cram that in there, like, you know, push comes to shove. I don't know what core it uses or whatever, if it even uses a core, it uses a custom program or what. That I would like to see, because if it does Beetle Saturn or whatever on RetroArch, then cha-ching, here come the achievements, baby. A weird track, that was... That was a track. Oh, of course, yeah. I can't think of much more fitting than whatever the track's called. Like something 2. We were talking about it last week, and I've completely forgotten. What a track for the jungle, I guess. It's based on the same hardware as the 5 and Flip, then it can do Beetle Saturn. Oh my god. We're back in the game. We've never been so back. I'm going to have to put that on the old AliExpress watch list and wait for a nice little discount code to come along, which we've just had the season of because Easter always has a load. I used that on my 8BitDo Ultimate, which is a very nice controller, as everyone has said. Because 75 for Switch 2 controller was, I don't know if that's happening. It will at some point when I can find it on discount somewhere, but I was like... Especially because they've already announced that Switch 1 controllers can't wake Switch 2 from sleep mode, like, okay. Make sure to confirm full buy. Oh no, that's not happening immediately, I can assure you. Because I saw $100, and like $100 is quite a lot, but dollars are also, you know, stupid right now, so there's a chance it might be actually okay without tariffs and all the rest of the BS. It might actually just be like 60 quid or whatever. I don't remember how bad the dollar is right now. I'll have a look, like, I'd at least pin, you know, bookmark / pin it out of curiosity. Oh boy, is it Alonso Circuit time? $100 might not be Beetle Saturn. We'll have a look. Alonso is in that, Alonso? Yeah, it's in that, Alonso. What the fuck is this track? It never ceases to amaze me. It's a specimen of design. Yeah, no, we'll have a look. Can't even see where I'm going. Thank God for the bottom screen actually being somewhat accurate here. Oh, enjoy. Eat that beach. So you've got to appreciate the Baby Park theme here. I mean, what is more fitting? Baby Park? No, this is NASCAR. Oh, damn it. This is F1, not NASCAR. It's really high. Oh, no, there it went. It was doing so well at pathing me. At least it isn't Ambernick releasing a Saturn handheld that needs running frame skipping. Yeah, Basanchiro. They be shitting out consoles though, so is it really to anyone's surprise that much? Supposedly they kind of actually slowed down this year, but I'll believe it when I see it. Although, yeah, apparently it was only their first handheld of the year in April or something I heard rumours of. They had a thought and they were like, hang on a minute, no one's buying these when we bring them out literally once a week, not an exaggeration. Oh, I just slipped off the L button. Thank God we're nearly at the end. And they're also doing I did see the 34XX SP. Because I know they did didn't they do a 35 and a 34 for the standard GBA one or something, I seem to recall. But 34 works better with the screen resolution in GBA games, right? So don't inherently see an issue. Oh, it was only 34. I was under the impression they were at least looking into a 35 for it. So let's just go this way for the funny. 4 times GBA. Why was that not the case to begin with, honestly? Like, I recently switched cores on that thing just because, you know, I love MGBA. MGBA is a great emulator with great devs and everything, but that did not upscale very well to the full screen resolution. It had, like, a lot of weird artifacting. Oh, screen availability. Yeah, that makes sense. But for some reason, PSP does, like, better upscaling or whatever. It looks way better on a you know, scaled up to the full screen size, and I'm not really sure why. Speaking of things I'm not really sure, that feels faster to do, even though it's a mud cart. That feels like... I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's like marginally slower, but it feels like a bit of a weird track design decision. Yeah, no, screen availability would actually make sense, because... I mean, I'm not too finger on the pulse of any of it, but maybe, you know, there just weren't those sorts of screens being produced at the time. Maybe there were. I don't know. I'm not in the production unit for these handhelds. I'm not on the scene, you know, where making them in the factories or whatever. So I can't tell what stock who has where. Also, that was amazing. Good timing. One more cup to go. God, because it's getting late. I'm sure we can all agree. Really expected this to take an hour or two, because I thought it was only 48-ish tracks. I didn't realise it was 72. Yeah, that's also a good point, Larry. Right, once again, I know what the fans want. And we're bruting it up for the fans as well. Okay, here we go. Last GP. Weird one to end things on, you can clearly tell, but they went out of a bang of N64 Rainbow Road on the last page. It made sense, same with SNES on the first one, and then they just kind of didn't have enough tracks in the recent update to end things properly, so we end with Sweet Sweet Mountain. Don't get me wrong, it's a great course, but it's one of the first courses in Mario Kart 8. It's not exactly a course you finish the pack on, so you can very much tell it's work in progress still. Played this one like once, and I remember finding it really confusing where to go. I'm saying that, it's actually very short, so it doesn't matter too much. It's just the clash of colours on the top screen when you're playing with 4 pixels. Or it's not 4 pixels, it's just way weirder looking at this very pixelated screen. Surprised by the lack of crossover content. In what way? What you mean in terms of... what, like other games having different franchises in terms of the tracks or whatever? I think the goal was to make it feel kind of official, minus the meme stuff. I feel like that kind of takes away from it a little bit. But I think that was the general goal, from what I know, was to make it feel like it could have been an official Mario Kart game, which is, you know, certainly something a lot of these don't do. They just go, okay, it's a fan-made thing, we know it's a fan-made thing, we're not going to pretend it isn't, so... yeah, some of original crossover tracks, certainly, like, Wii's never massively gone that way, but occasionally someone, like, I think Sadek's Twinkle Park's been in the pack for ages, for example, but, like, generally, that one tries to just, you know, try and feel like it was an original Nintendo thing. CTGP 7 and Deluxe don't really do that, and this one's somewhere in between those two extremes, I guess. Yeah, it's weird. It tries to come across as like very, hey look, this is like Nintendo tracks, to the point where we're not going to include any non-Nintendo tracks, but then in turn, I'm playing as Rosalina Wario with a Wario Luna face. Like, there's only so far that can get, could stretch in the circumstances, you know? Yeah, we'll check out 8 at some point. I don't have access to that Switch right now, and even if I do, last time I was trying to play it, it wouldn't boot. There's since been the 2.0 update and a couple bug fixes, so maybe that fixes it on my unit, but I think King was going to stream it when he was over the second from last time. Back in like January or whatever it was, but couldn't, because I just couldn't get it working. So I'm going to have to look into it when we get back, because I really would like to do an all-track tour on that like I did here. That would be really fun. But yeah, entirely depends on getting it working and having enough time in the, what, 4 or 5 week schedule until World comes out, because there's so much I'd like to do, but not much time to do it. Oh. Okay. That's 2 for 3 on actually hitting my banana. Will this continue? Probably not, but a man can dream. Donk. My brother is thinking of getting a Switch too. There you go, you yoink it when he's not looking. And that's how you play Mario Kart World. Semi-joking. Oh, was that you sleeping? Well, who's up for a lobby? I was too early. Felt it in my bones. It is the actual Calamari Desert song. Respect. I thought they were just going to reuse Desert Hills or something. Oh, but wow. So the front of that's not solid. I get Sonic Crush Shadow Generations for Christmas complete transformation. Which mean the cartridge isn't. Which mean it's not all on the cartridge, and there you go, you complete his physical game of transformation while you're at it as well. You never knew it would happen. Yeah, like, the fact that I'm strongly considering Sonic Shadow Generations when I already own it on PC and Switch 2 probably speaks more to me, but it also does speak more to... it's a good game that I want to play again. There's so much to play on Switch 2 at launch that shouldn't, like Deltarune, Switch 2 package thing is, what's it called, the welcome thing, because I can probably get that even cheaper with a Japanese account. Ridge Racer, Sonic the Shadow, Yakuza, it's a bit of a bloodbath. He got into the lore, he has the same sickness as us. It works, I'm telling you, it does work. People think they're above it, but they're truly not. Right, so there's this thing called Spear Boost. No, Spear Maxing, isn't it? So there's this thing called Spear Max. I'm doing so badly. Like, I don't even think I've done anything necessarily wrong. I'm just not doing very good in this race. Oh, here we go. So this is another enemy pot. I actually hadn't noticed, but yeah, it would make sense. Yeah, there are quite a lot. I've not pointed them out very much, so I've actually not been paying much attention, but there are a lot, especially in the retros. The most undeserved victory you've ever seen, but I put in the work. What can you say? Toad didn't, so it can be like that sometimes. You wouldn't steal the first place? Oh, I would. Happily, in fact. As happily as they'd steal a font. There's no water on the bottom. That feels weird to me. Also, the colours, mainly the sky, I think, just feels really muted. I mean, there's probably only so many colours you can do in the DS bitmap or whatever, but yeah, it feels so muted compared to the normal track. Like it's just missing lighting. But lighting's, I assume it's baked into the tracks in DS rather than being dynamic or anything. Take that, Toad. Oops. I mean, I don't know why I said oops. It wasn't my fault, but it didn't massively impact me that much. Oh yeah, there's like a load of skins, and from memory, I heard about this through the Discord. This is really cool, if it's true. If you both have the same skin, then you can see the other person's playing it. So if I had that Inkling Girl mod installed, even if I wasn't using it, your system would send to my system, hey, I'm using the Inkling mod. Then I would see it on my screen. So send it my way, because I'm clearly going to have to use it for future CTGP 7s, aren't I? Oops. That wasn't an oops, I survived it. There we go. All tracks done in 3 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, but I know what you want. Who am I kidding? I know what the people want. Why pretend? Oh yeah, Miro would make sense. Does this crash? It probably crashes. It doesn't. Okay, I know what the people want. One last one for the fans. Oops. Don't stop saying oops when it's not my fault. It's just a tick. Fun fact, by the way. A little factoid for the Mario fact heads out there. See, I would do the full GP if I'm just so tired. I'm not tired, but just, you know, wiped out off a good stream, so I've had my fill. I could not do 4 more races of this. Oh, you can't see blues on this, but also very nice. Yeah, you can't see all reds. Okay. I never used this view, so I didn't know that. I always just kept it on default. The point where I probably actually didn't know this was shaped like a Yoshi, despite the meme, until... See, I don't want to say 8 Deluxe. It would have been before then, but, you know, sometime after Wii releasing, I presume. Having already played this game, I wouldn't have figured out it was a Yoshi, because I just never hit this button, because there's not much of a reason to. It's just a worse view of the track, unless you really want to know the shape of it to find out that Yoshi Circuit's shaped like a Yoshi. See, for a track that is shaped like a Yoshi, you would kind of think it wouldn't drive as well as it does. Like, it drives surprisingly well, considering that that factoid that no one knows. Really? I'm shocked that worked. But I will take it. Game's determined to end on one last solemn little screw you, I guess. I keep scaring myself with the noise of the drifting and thinking it's a blue shell. I talk over it, it gets just muffled enough to where I can't tell sometimes. Alright, there you go. Just a small one for the fans. Once again, left hand fine, right hand really hurts, so I'm looking forward to calling it there. So then, thank you ever so much to everyone who's joined us tonight. I really appreciate it, those of you on the stream replay and vlogging, etc. as well. If you're here live, tomorrow should be the Fist of the North Star finale. We're on the finale chapter, as in it's called finale, so I'm pretty confident we can get it done. Unless the game randomly decides to throw me a grinding wall, but apparently the hardest boss is already behind me. So, should be okay, and should be able to get that done tomorrow, so look forward to it. Until then though, have a great rest of your evening, etc. Next Monday, thinking something Mario Kart 8, because we've got a lot of Mario Kart 8 stuff to get through, whether it be, like mentioned, CTGP DX, or the Archipelago featuring it, or Mario Kart 8 on Pretendo, or just playing it. There's a lot of Mario Kart 8 that I want to do. Just not many weeks to do it, so that should be starting next week. Hopefully you look forward to that. Otherwise, as I said, Fist of the North Star concluding tomorrow. Thanks for watching, catch you all soon, and yeah, have a great rest of your evening. Bye!